You're on.
Ring, ring, ring. Hello, priest, and welcome back to Krown's magical doom cave. Excuse me, I'm tired.
Well. Welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave. It is a lovely Monday morning over here from Helsinki, Finland. I wish all the people well across the world, across the lands, as I understand that it's still the weekend for some of you guys over there in the Western Hemisphere. But we do have plenty to discuss today with big news coming out. The old news, any news, of course, but actually something that is rather impactful and rather powerful. So we'll actually get into that right here, right now. But I would like to wish you the best and the happiest, because why the fuck not, man? And we got some Doom Cave going on. Fuck yeah, man. Very happy to see that people are aware of one of the greatest games of all time. Anyways, I want to put this into the visual focus right over here. Bullish to list on NYSE. Now, understand that Bullish is the name of an exchange. It's not like a fucking, it's not like in the common parlance right there. But more importantly, we do see that Bullish, essentially an exchange, has announced its plan to go public on the New York Stock Exchange Friday through a merger with Far Peak Acquisition Corporation. So it's some sort of like SPAC bullshit. But more importantly, we have another one of those situations similar to what we had earlier this year in Coinbase listing, and then of course a few years ago for the CME listing as well for Bitcoin. So I do look at this as more or less a bit of a catalyst right now, and we could see a little bit of upside pleasures here, assuming that does play out. What's up, Mr. Epidemic? There he is. How you doing, man? It's been a little bit of time. I see you in the Discord all the time, but I don't see you over here all the time, but that's all good, man. I understand that life gets in the way sometimes. All good, man. All good. And hope you're doing well as well, my friend. Anyways, I'm going to turn off the alerts for this exact moment. There we go. Okay, microphone is working, so that's good. So we don't have to repeat all the bullshit from the beginning. And what else do I want to say? Oh, man, we need to fucking pump up those dislikes. Why are there only 4 right now? We need at least like 40. I want this fucking ratio to be 50-50 at the end of the day. Holy shit. This is ridiculous right now. Anyways, into the Krown Chat application we go, which can be found at app.krown strategy.net. It is, to my knowledge, the most free platform on the web that hosts the most free content. And if it's not, then tell us which one is, because we're going to go outdo them. And that is, well, that is a promise, I do suppose. At least that's our goal right now. Anyways, with that said, the hair needs its own NFT. There you go, man. Anyways, okay, so let's get into it right now. What do we see on the dashboard that is different from yesterday to today? We do see that Bitcoin dominance actually did pop up about a 1.25% from yesterday. I believe it was at 44% early yesterday, at least from the last video. And so that does suggest that as Bitcoin does rally up a little bit here, it is soaking up altcoins. And I do look at that as more or less a good thing. Now, of course, that can be looked at as an insinuation that Bitcoin, no matter which way it moves, is gonna juice the Bitcoin dominance up, but I would say that it is a more healthy thing to see. More importantly, the reason why I say that is because if Bitcoin is going to lead the party to the upside, we want to see Bitcoin dominance going up alongside of that. That's typically how we see the beginnings of our more sustained rallies happen. Now, of course, if you've been listening to this channel, I still hold major reservations with Bitcoin putting in a macro low in this current area. In fact, the three things that I've been looking for have still yet to been hit, at least all in their totality, but we do have a couple of them starting to show themselves. So I do think that it is more and more relevant here, but naturally it'll take time. So contrary to all of the news headlines, contrary to even the titles of these videos, which are typically just clickbait bullshit, understand that I still don't think that there's a major rush in this exact moment right now. Anyways, with that said, fear and greed index still accumulating fear in the 20 zone right there, as you would expect, and barely anyone's paying attention to this market right now. Everyone's watching fucking soccer apparently, which fair enough, congratulations. Some guys won from some country, and then my life hasn't changed one bit. Anyways, into the market data tab we go, and what do we see going on over here? We see global funding rate still pretty much neutral, which is a slightly more bullish thing than not, but we are really splitting hairs here. This is not anything that I put too much significance on. I'd really want to see this get below negative 0.1% or above 0.1%. in order to look at this as potentially a bit of a you fucker, sorry, my bad. Apologies, sir. I got a good night of sleep last night though, so there we go. Anyways, yes, so while this is not necessarily anything too significant right now, and I see you over there, Mr. Filson, but more importantly with that, I suppose it would kind of help out a little bit of a short-term Bula-ish case, I suppose. Now, Bitcoin is caught within a very, very tight range, and so even just a small thing right now actually does kind of matter, as we'll go into the price action charts soon enough. But we also do see that global exchanges net flows is just barely fucking negative once again. I mean, this is inconsequential shit. I'm really splitting hairs right here. You know what? Let's just forget about all of this right now, because we're not seeing anything that's super obvious, and that's really what we want to be seeing when we are looking at the underlying market data over here. So into the charts we go. Let's start off with CME today, and what do you know? Bitcoin essentially in the same range that we have been looking at for the past few weeks here, going all the way back to our lows from late June right here on the 22nd, and our highs right around about $36,000, in line with the point of control right here on the volume profile. And I do look at this as the NFL is a scam. Is the NFL a scam? I don't know, man. How is it I'm just curious. I'm not saying that's not a scam, but how is it a scam? Anyways, more importantly with this, what do we see that is potentially happening perhaps as soon as today? Well, could we confirm our first higher low in a very long time? Perhaps yes. Now, of course, understand that we are not flipping around the daily trend anytime soon, because we need to see not just a higher low, but also a higher high as well. And where's our last higher high? I suppose that would be your $36,000 area right here. So Bitcoin can take out that area. That would not just confirm this as a higher low, it would also confirm that we naturally have a higher high in progress as well. And that would start to look pretty damn good for Bitcoin. Now, what I want to show you is something that we've been following up on for the last few weeks, really, but now it's like red fucking alert here. And what do we see? We do see that the BBWP, our volatility based indicator over here, is pretty much just right at 1 percentile. It's 1.19 percentile right now, and that is on the floor as far as I'm concerned. I imagine that the 12 hours more or less the same. In fact, it pretty much is. We see pretty much all lower term timeframes also in line with that as well. The 4 hours slightly expanding right there, but not anything too crazy right now. But you do see multiple timeframes across the lands showing that we do have a lot of built up pressure right now, essentially, as volatility again is of course a mean reverting indicator. And when we do get this low, it just means, especially when we apply like a statistical narrative to this, it does imply that we probably are looking at expansion relatively soon. It's just more and more likely. And I would say exactly what I said at the end of last week. We're probably looking at a move this week outside of the range. That means either above $36,000 or below below our current low structure at about 31.5 or 32,000 bucks, depending upon where you kind of take it. I'd say 31.5 to be a little bit more safe, and we're probably going to see a pretty damn big move based off of it. So keep that in mind as we do see several things in confluence right here. Again, pretty much all aligning with that $36,000 region right here. Actually, in fact, on Bitstamp, it's not necessarily there. That is rather interesting. Is it on? Yes, it is on MEX, and I imagine it is the same on Coinbase as well. And it's certainly the same, or actually no, it's a little bit under. In fact, yes, this is what I was talking about on Bitfinex. Bitfinex actually does have the volume profile of a bit of accumulation going on within this region. Again, do I trust Bitfinex over all the other exchanges? I'm not sure, but it is something worth following up on. And let's just see which way that the range breaks. And if it does, then Bitfinex is going to start to be one of my main exchanges to look at for volume analysis. Anyways, as it stands right now, I want to call it a few things here. First and foremost, we do see that bullish that we got another drive of phantom div right on over here on the daily, and Bitcoin is above, or no, it's actually not above the 50 range. Now, I'm sure that a lot of people have been calling this one out. A lot of people have been looking at one long-term trend line on this, of which we are flirting around once again. But here's the thing. I'm not really finding a good way to fit this, depending upon where you kind of take it. Obviously, the January 9th highs is where it should start, but if you do take it, as I have seen some people take it from this area right here on our February highs, then technically speaking, we've already kind of broken out above it. No matter which way you kind of take it, I think that this is, this is not like a primary consideration for myself in precipitating a breakout. I really need to see price action levels taken out at this point. You've probably seen that indicators have been a lot less trustworthy, so to speak, over the last, especially over like the last month or so, as Bitcoin has mostly just been in consolidation, and really the results of these have not been too much. So yes, it does provide a little bit of an upside bias right here, obviously. But if we go back into the into this little consolidation right here, I think it's pretty damn obvious what's going on. Look, Bitcoin is brushing up against the 21 exponential average for the first time since about last week, actually, on the 5th of July. And we actually did regain the 10 simple yesterday as well, which actually does have a bit of a positive slope. Now, we've tested this 1, 2, 3 times going on right now. And I would say that if we do get another close above today, that would be a damn good signal. And because Bitcoin's been so scrunched up within this region, it's all the way down to about 34,400-ish region. Preferably, if you want to go by the book, if you want to go the old school style, which I actually do think draws a lot of merit in this way, you'd want to see both an open and closure above the yellow 21 exponential average in this case, and that kind of leads to a classic play back up somewhere around the 55 in this case, which is about 37,500-ish region. Now, the sad thing about this is that the 55 just like a week or two ago was all the way up. Yeah, just a week ago was like 39.5 or so. So it would have been a lot more of an impressive move. But more importantly, if we do get that sort of a interplay going on, then that would naturally lead up to, or at least give Bitcoin the possibility to close a daily dodo above the point of control right here, which is also just your short form little consolidation right here as well at about 36,000 bucks. Technically about 100, 200 bucks below there at 35,850 it looks like. But ultimately, if we do start to close above there, I'd feel a lot more confident calling a move back up to the top side of the prior range for the last couple of months. That'd be about 39 to 40,000 bucks, and very likely a pullback from there, plus general continuation to mid $40,000 targets. By the same token, volatility of course is a direction neutral indicator, and if we do start to break below our current low structure, which keep in mind Bitcoin's still in a downtrend on pretty much every time frame that matters as of right now, then I would be looking at any sort of a closure, especially below 31,000 bucks. I think you could even be a little more aggressive in this case below 31,500-ish region, looking for all of the doom targets to the downside to be met, somewhere between about 27,000 bucks and 25,000 bucks for bounces, and ultimately somewhere around 20,000 bucks. But I do want to come back into something that I identified yesterday on yesterday's video and bring it up once again. Now, I want to bring this out right now. So I know that a lot of people are looking at some pretty dastardly targets down low, and believe me, I absolutely love fucking being bearish. It's my favorite trading environment. It's where I typically actually make money. To the upside, it's like it doesn't really take too much skill, and I'd imagine that any mongoloid with access to the green button is going to is going to get more paper profits, especially than me in a bull market. But in these downside markets, that is where you actually have to, showcase a bit of skills. But what I would say is that we do have something going on here that I think needs to be considered, and that would be this. Or actually, is it right here? No, I did do it on Bitstamp. Okay, yes. So we did an analysis on the hash ribbons indicator yesterday, marking off all of the blue buy signals in the history of Bitcoin, and all of them but one essentially have always denoted a macro low for the low before the blue buy signal was ticked off, as well, never getting tested ever again. All of them except for one. That is going to be your coronavirus dump time over here. We got the blue buy signal right here. and Bitcoin was trading about 7,100-ish region, and your prior low before that was about 66. This one over here, we got right around about 7,100 as well, actually. In fact, maybe I take that back. Maybe these actually are about the same, and this one, was it slightly higher? I suppose it was just about the same as well, in fact. You know what? So maybe it actually is perfect, and those are pretty much the same anyways. You know what? Let's mark this off really quickly here. I do want to be as thorough as possible, and where's your last higher low before that blue buy signal was ticked off right there? It was right there, and then we had one right here. Where's your last higher low? Actually, yes, now that I really dial it in, it is true. All blue buy signals on the hash ribbons indicators have always denoted that the prior higher low before the blue buy signal was the macro low, even by just a few $100 you can see right there. Anyways, with that said, our last blue buy signal that we saw was all the way back on over here in December 1st, and that is the $17,000 low right here. So while I do think that Bitcoin, could obviously break down at any moment in time, I mean, it doesn't need too much of a reason to do that, of course, as anyone knows. I do think that the super bearish targets down to like 15,000 or $10,000 are probably very unlikely, just based off that. But that doesn't mean that 19,000 or 20,000 bucks can't get hit off. I'm just saying, and well, actually, I mean, we do come lower than that over time, to be fair. You know what? Maybe I am wrong on that. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Anyways, that would still be 10 or 11, 10 out of 11 iterations, and that is, good enough for me to kind of call out and put a little bit of faith in over time. Now, at the end of the day, we do see that Bitcoin is flipping the not the 10 symbol, but the 9 exponential moving average and the 20 symbol moving average right here. That's going to be the cyan and the white respectively. And when we typically see something like this, you typically get at the very least a move up to the top side trend band. Guess where that is? It's directly in line with Bitcoin's medium-term time frame resistance, right around just below 36,000 bucks. If Bitcoin can overtake that and especially close above there, we will not just see Bitcoin close above the top side trend band in that case. We'd also, of course, take out the volume profile point of control if we look at the whole damn kit and caboodle right here. And also we would see one of the other things that we just, that we denoted earlier, but I am now slipping my mind with it. Anyways, more importantly with that, I still need to see proof, not promises with this price action. For myself in a range like this, I do not trade this right now. I'm looking for the easy trade. And because volatility is so fucking low on the daily right here, putting us in areas that we really haven't seen since, October 2020, precipitating the last mega breakout from 10,000 bucks to realistically like 20,000 bucks with any major pullbacks, I would say that is, rather powerful. And we probably are looking at a 30 to 50% move sometime, between now and the end of this month, if I had to guess. And again, that can come to the upside or the downside, but it pretty much does line up with all of those major targets anyways. Now, I've gone over this a million times already, but I just want to show if we were to play off 30% from our current price action right here, where that would put Bitcoin right around 25,000 bucks. If you want to shave off 50% or 40%, anywhere around here, that puts Bitcoin 20,000 bucks. To the upside, same sort of relevant targets as well. We do see 30,000 bucks is in your low $40,000 territory. 50% is right around or right under 50,000 bucks as well. So I do look at this as relatively important right now, and whichever way Bitcoin does break, we are very likely to see a lot of continuation on top of that. I want to also bring you over to here as well. So I've been we added a volatility component to the Joule over here, and what I wanted to note right here is that on the daily we actually have, this is not a long signal by the way, but we have gotten rid of the last bearish signal coming in from our last little high right here, wouldn't necessarily produce, but front running that $35,000 drop to about 32,000 bucks right there. And so now that has gone into trendless mode, and we actually even see the slowest moving oscillator on this supporting now, or somewhat supporting, I would say that this is somewhat of a good setup at least, and I would kind of give the probabilities in favor of the bulls right here as we do start to regain some critical areas. Anyways, in yesterday's short-term video, what did we say? We did say if Bitcoin closed above 34,000 bucks, I'd generally be looking for Bitcoin to pop up and test somewhere around 35,000 bucks. Again, that's only relevant for the short term, but like we haven't seen volatility essentially expand just yet on the 4 hours. So all these time frames are kind of cooked up and ready to go. Anyways, what else do I want to talk about over here? We got 4-hour RSI. I mean, you do expect a bit of a pushback from the bullish controls on their first pass after a while. We're getting that right now. What about the 12-hour? More or less neutral to slightly bullish above the exponential. Good. Daily is same thing. Again, playing out a bit of that phantom div right there. And I think that we also have it consistently, or no, we do not have it on CME chart just yet. It is populating itself. So we need to see a close basically here or higher by end of day in order for CME to fully get that. Yes, I'm sure that everyone's going to be talking about a CME gap right here. Do we come back down and fill that gap first before trying to the upside? Perhaps yes, that would be all the way down to about 33,700-ish region. But typically when you do see some of these major breakouts, you won't see them retested, exactly, wick to wick in these cases. So that would again be about 33,750-ish region. But overall, I would exercise patience right here. I do think that there are going to be several very high quality and very, somewhat relatively easy setups. I use that word with great reservation, probably coming either later this week or the rest of this month. And right here, while I do think that the odds are a little bit in the Bullaw's favor based off a few things, understand that I would not be trading this in this exact moment. I want to see something that's very obvious. Again, that would be either below 31.5 for myself, or if you want to be a little more conservative, $31,000 on a daily, or above this $36,000 pivot right here. Again, we're looking at very likely a big move. And funnily enough, this goddamn red fucking half circle is still working. Still fucking working. Anyways, we should do the daily perusal of the hash ribbons indicator. Do we have a blue buy signal? No, we don't. In fact, we're still very far away, so that ain't happening anytime soon. And what do we see on daily MACD popping up as well right here? I want to see it get above the zero read though. This is kind of inconsequential as far as I'm concerned, but it is good that it is increasing its momentum, of course. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is within the bearish buy zone, and the daily SMI is basically doing the same, but it is in the bullish buy zone, so that would be a little bit more in favor of the Bullaw's court there. Now we'll bring it over to, of course, our momentum oscillators over here on our trending charts. And what do we see on the daily? Well, we've already talked about BBWP. We've already talked about that. We've already talked about trend, of which this is obviously down. But what do we see over here on daily Stokes? We do see that if Bitcoin does close above 34,600-ish region today, at the end of this day, at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we will see that flip back around. And that'll actually be considered a rejection of the bearish control zone in this case. And I would be looking at that as a preemptive signal that Bitcoin very likely does make the leg up above $35,000 and then very likely $36,000 as well. And that starts to look a lot more interesting from a long-term view. Again, we still have a long day left to trade, but I imagine that the 12-hour probably already leading that in, and it is. Yes, we do see that this will be remaining with upside posturing as long as above 33,150-ish region, so that is all good in the hood right there. And again, we're still caught within the throes of a very hefty downtrend, so understand that this is still pretty damn risky right here. If you are a long-term investor, I would still, personally speaking, which I'm not, I don't think that there's any major rush to get in position. If I had to give my personal opinion on this, and get out the goddamn crystal ball, which has been broken for a while now, I'd probably be looking for a rally up somewhere into like the mid $40,000 territory, rejection there, come back down below $40,000, and then if bulls are going to pull through, they probably just hold and put in like a macro higher low somewhere around mid $30,000 territory, and then perhaps like later this summer, sometime in end of August or early September, we'd probably see like an actual move. Anyways, let's see. Colby Juck says, hey brother, mind checking Coinbase daily? Yeah, actually we should definitely check out Coinbase because it does seem to have some very interesting things going on right here as well. Coinbase actually closed the week green, and pretty impressively green as well too, about 4% it looks like on Friday, and we do have what looks like our first higher low in pretty much forever on this goddamn forsaken chart, as this is just an ugly chart. But I do actually like what's going on right here. If we can actually see this follow through, which it will coming into open today, as we did close 253.88 cents on Friday, and this will naturally cross back onto the upside in the bullish control zone as long as we open up above 245 and 33 cents, then that would very likely be good enough to get us above that 255 territory right there. And then we actually would have our first uptrend in this asset since the dawn of time, in fact, going all the way back to 14th of April. But I want to once again kind of harken back to that initial news. I typically don't, I'm typically not a big fan of news, but this is actually important of course over here. And this could be another event driven type of move going on. So you will have to play within the throes of that, unfortunately or fortunately. But is this time different? Of course it is. Of course this time's fucking different. Remember what happened when CME listed? Remember what happened when Coinbase listed? Remember what happened when Bullish listed, right? It's it's typically going to be the same thing. So run it up into the event and then dump it after perhaps, and then maybe wait for the next event, of which maybe it becomes like an ETF or something like that later down the road. I still do think that Bitcoin does get an ETF, probably either later this year or early next year. But you can see that there's a lot of posturing within the lands right now for a more legitimized sort of space for cryptocurrency, in fact. And I strongly believe, and I've been saying this for a long time now, I've been saying this for like the last year and a half to 2 years, that all these wild west crypto exchanges like BitMEX, like Bybit, like Deribit, like Femex, like Evolve, like derp bit, whatever the fuck their names are nowadays. There's a million. I mean, they're a dime a dozen. They're very likely going to be either forced to go the legitimate route, meaning that they're going to have full on KYC, which you see Bybit actually implementing, I believe today, in fact, and or you're going to see them basically washed out, probably see something, similar to like what happened to one broker back in the day. So overall, I do put quite a bit of weight on that. And to me, that looks like it's paving the way for a more legitimized experience, meaning that you're probably going to be ending up trading like major cryptos on major exchanges in the same way that you trade stocks. Something similar to that is what I would guess, probably within the next 1.5 to 2 years from now. Anyways, with that said, should we go over the low-term timeframes as well? Certainly we should, because right now low-term timeframes are more or less whippy-washy. Like we did say, Bitcoin can, very easily come back down, fill the gap somewhere around 33.7 or so. I wouldn't really have any major reservations with that as of right now. What I would have major reservations with on the short-term timeframes is closing a 4-hour dildo back below about $33,000. If that happens, I would look for another run back down towards the blue box of death and decay down here at about 31,000 to 31,500 region. And then, of course, as we said earlier, if any higher-term timeframes, namely a daily close below there, I would probably put on my hard hat, because Bitcoin very likely at least comes down to 27,000 after that, and likely bounce there too, and then we'll see if we get another trappy reclaim of the range. But I wouldn't hold my breath on that just now. For what it's worth, if you want to go by the book here and you want to look at patterns, of which this actually does work out as a pattern. I'm not a huge pattern trader myself, but the good ones typically are triangles and sometimes channels, and this one actually does happen to be a bit of a falling channel right here, which does have a higher statistically probability to be broken to the upside. In this case, you actually can make a measure move on this one as well. And we've tested the top side 1, 2, 3, 4 times now. It doesn't look like it's actually ready to break from this exact moment, but you can make a measure move on this. It depends when it breaks though. And of course, like I said, just because it is a falling channel doesn't mean it's like destined to always break out to the upside. It just means it has a higher probability to do that. And I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, for channels in cryptocurrency land, for Bitcoin namely, it's like somewhere in the low 60%. So it's kind of like, it's not that great of a formation in cryptocurrency land. But if you were to take the upside trajectory of this, it would actually be pointed back up to about $37,000, a little bit above $37,000 in fact. And if we did look to the downside, that would be pointing you back down towards about $29,000. So keep in mind where those breakage precipices are. And I'd say this one right here is about $32,000 to the downside on a 4-hour, as this does get typically lower, which is why I don't like trading them, because it's like you just keep on fucking moving, the area of action, and to the upside that would be actually coming down and about 34.5 or so on CME once again. So I do I do think that holds a little bit of merit here, but overall at the end of the day, I think that the ranges are relatively straightforward. It lines up with several different things as we identified earlier. Again, just this $36,000 area right here based off the volume profile point of control. Big one for me, of course, we do have the daily 21 just right overhead as well. And if we go over here to our Bollinger Band charts, we can see that the top side of Bollinger Band is where? Just below $36,000. Our bottom side is actually right around 31.5. So you probably could use 31.5 as a breakdown point for a daily. For a 4-hour, I'd want to see below $33,000, and we probably test around there, and that could be a setup for the next major downside trade. Likewise for the upside right here, again, basically same numbers. So everything lining up with each other. We see volatility is absolutely fucking crunched. I do think that we are seeing a resolution probably this week. And if I had to put my hat in the ring right now, which I'm not trading this right now, I do think the upside's a little bit more likely right now, a little bit more likely. Again, understand where the major areas of resistance come in around. We do see, again, $38,000 is still an area of consideration, right around the 55 right there, a little bit lower actually. And then we got about 40 to $41,000 above there to the upside. What else do we want to check out right here? Yeah, let's go check out Dixie as well. We are seeing that bearish divergence that we spoke about last week on Dixie start to play out. It's happening like fucking molasses here, but it is happening nonetheless. And what did we see? Dixie slightly breaking down off this current rally. We did see 1, 2, 3 drives of bearish divergence come off that last high. It's kicked out of the bullish controls, and right there, the real question is now, how far do we come down? I'd look for, at the very least, a move down to the 21 right here. That is not going to fully negate this rally just yet, though. And looking at the way that the weekly closed, I would not say that this is necessarily bearish on the higher term timeframes just yet. I would still kind of hold reservation on this one. It would have been a lot easier if we did see a closure above 92.5 last week to get bullish on this, looking for a retest of the 93.25 highs or so, and probably continuation on top of that. But looking at it right here, I don't really have a major consideration to, or I don't really have like a major proclivity towards it just yet. Let's see, we got a new moon in the daily chart. Oh no, not the moon charts again. I think it's a bear moon. Hold on, I actually think that it is a bear moon. I was watching the witches analysis yesterday. If you're familiar with her, I think her name is Marin, and I say that as a term of endearment. She's actually seems like a pretty, I think she seems like a fine person. I don't really know her, but fair enough. I'll just give her the benefit of the doubt. And technically speaking, we do have a bearish moon here, and if you are looking for the stars to guide your trades, then you're probably looking for this one to drop down, I'd imagine. Let's see if this matches up with our fib time zones. And no, that's not the right chart for it. Is it this one? Is it this one? No. Where did I put it? It's this one. It's this one right here, actually. We do have another fib time zone coming in right around, actually, 16th of July. That's rather interesting. I think that's one of the GBTC dates, perhaps. And is that also the bullish NYSE listing as well? I'm not so sure. But I do remember that. I believe that is a GBTC unlock right here, which is really fucking interesting. I mean, this was a fib time extension pulled all the way from like February to March highs, or sorry, February highs to October breakout right here. And again, credit to Mr. Paranoid in the Discord for that one. Rather interesting stuff. Not something that I put a whole hell of a lot of faith in, but it's the results are kind of hard to argue against right here. I mean, it's gotten this high, this high, this high, this kind of complex high right there, and then so far this low actually. So with that in mind, maybe we are seeing a bit of a reversal on the interpretations of that, and now the magical fib time zones are bullish. Who the fuck knows, man? I'm not an astrologer myself. I'm deep enough in astrology with fucking TA already. It's astrology for men, as some people say, and you know what? I agree with that. How about I fucking agree with that? But it's good enough, man. It's good enough. And funnily enough, the goddamn astrologers have actually been making some good money in this asset. So maybe I should hold my fucking tongue and not badmouth them, which I'm not to beginning with. Just poking a little bit of fun out there. But hey, she's actually, if you're looking at the fucking stars, I guess she. You can't say that she's had a bad track record, because I guess she has had a good one thus far, at least for the last few months, from what I've seen. Anyways, looking at NASDAQ right here, what do we see? We see continuation once again, man. This market never stops going down, and I'll be looking for new all-time highs this week once again. I'm still sticking with my $15,000 target. If we can, hey, where the motherfucker? It got rid of my target. There it is. Found it. Got it. All right, still looking at $15,000, a little bit above there. Probably a bit of a pullback from there. I'm not necessarily certain that this is happening this week. In fact, it probably doesn't happen this week. But over time, maybe over the next few months into the end of the year, I would still be looking at a move towards about $15,000. We got pretty fucking close last week. We got all the way up to 14, basically 900. If things were to kind of fall apart from here, it wouldn't be too out of the ordinary. But I've been saying this for a long time, and do we have anything that's concerning right here? Do we have bearish divergence on the daily? No, we do not. Do we have a jewel sell signal? We actually do, which is not good, but jewel sell signals on the daily here, I've actually not tested, but now that I kind of look at it right here, it's okay results. Yeah, actually pretty good results. Got that short, got that long. Okay, good. Yeah, it's okay, I guess. Anyways, fair enough. Let's see how SPY's doing as well. What is SPY doing? It's like I read your mind, quick King Cosmics, like we're sharing a fucking brain right now. Same thing, closed on new highs on Friday. There's not really much bearish about that. I see a little bit of short-term cautionary signals. Maybe we play at a bit of a short-term pullback, can easily come back down to 43.30. I imagine NASDAQ's probably the same as well. Probably somewhere down around, about 14,700, 14,750-ish region. But same thing on this one, on the weekly. I'd probably be looking for, well, have we made new all-time highs already? Hold on, I can't see. Yes, we have. Oh my god, we already have new all-time highs. Jesus fucking Christ, man. This market's crazy. This market's absolutely fucking insane. This market is completely just divorced from reality, but everyone already knows that, and you might as well just enjoy it while it lasts. Look, I know this chart looks just this chart is like reaching new levels of parabolic insanity right here. It's going to be the same thing as Bitcoin when Bitcoin was at $65,000. Look, you don't know when it's going to happen, and typically these parabolic rallies, they carry on for longer than what you would expect, but at some point when it does turn around, it's going to be absolutely fucking devastating. It's going to take no prisoners. It's going to be just a fucking bloodbath right here, but I still stick with my long-term targets. I mean, over the next few months, probably 4,500 or 4,500 it looks like. And then perhaps we do see some topping formations right around there. As of right now, you do have a nice basing point, basically right around last week's wick low at 42.79 and a quarter. As long as you're above there, I can't really be bearish on it. If we do start to take that level out, I would look for a return down to 41.50ish region, the last sort of range lows. But for right now, short term, probably a little bit of downside, and I'd look for something resembling like a higher low right here. If that happens, general continuation, to new all-time highs probably this week. Once again, man, crazy shit, man, fucking crazy shit these markets are. But again, just enjoy them. them, man. Fucking enjoy them. If you've been trading cryptocurrency for the last 3 years, you've seen like two market cycles that would typically take you like a lifetime in traditional land to like experience. And this is actually really invaluable experience because, well, you usually have to wait a long time to get that, and more importantly, you'll be able to notice this over time and identify these things. If you didn't capitalize on it this time, then you can assure yourself that next time you'll take better action for that. Anyways, I'm gonna turn back the alerts on over here. I've already been speaking off my goddamn head for the last 30 minutes, so apologies for that. I know it's like nails on the chalkboard. Let's see what else has got lined up for me over here as we do see some good old chatties. All right, let's see. Mr. Abademic says your Discord equals my life. So good to see you live again. Yeah, fuck yeah, man. The Discord is like my digital home, actually. It's fun, man. I absolutely love it in there, man. We have a really, really good crew. We've had kind of some trials and tribulations over the years, but I think we really narrowed down, the type of person that we want in there, and in a really great community kind of build around. And the biggest lesson that we've learned with Discord, speaking towards our good old mods over here, of which I don't know if anyone's here right now. Maybe Caretaker's around, maybe Nimbo's around, maybe Decentralized around. I'm not sure, but we've learned, look, man, if there's someone that's just being fucking weird and crazy, just get rid of them as fast as possible. And while sometimes it can cause a little bit of short-term volatility in the Discord, it's the right way to go, man. So I just want to say massive thank you to all the people who have been, a positive member of the Discord. And holy shit, by the way, our Discord is reaching like new levels of unprecedented bigness, I guess. We're well over 8,000 members now, which is fucking crazy, man. Like, what the hell? What the hell? And that's with our alt-identifier bot. So that's you had to like actually go through some rigmarole in order to get in the goddamn Discord. So if you can do that, you can probably figure out trading, because that's more difficult. Just kidding. It's not more difficult, but it is quite a pain in the ass. Anyways, King Cosmic, I did kind of not address your full question now that I look at it. You're looking at a daily and hourly. If we go down to an hourly, what do we see? Yeah, a little bit of a pullback first. Extremely short term, 43, 47 and a quarter I'd be looking for. I do think that it will probably drag a little bit lower, somewhere right around 43, 35 region. I want to see something resembling a higher low there, and for the daily to kind of just trade a little bit of sideways and then try for some more upside. Is that in line with the 10 symbol right here? It's a little bit lower than that, but anywhere around 43, 30, we'll call it, is good enough for me. And then see if like the hour, if the hourly wants to put in something resembling a low. If it fails that area, I'd be looking for another run at our lows, at our low closures of last week, or sorry, open of last week in this case. Sorry, no, that would not be our weekly. That would be our daily, and that would be somewhere right around about 4,300 even or so. Not really bearish on this one. I mean, bearish is not the right word to use for something that's been up for just straight up for like the last year, basically. Oh my God, fucking insane. But I'd be looking for a greater pullback if we did take out last week's low, essentially. And by greater pullback, I mean back down to the 55 on the daily here. So fair enough on that one. All right, cool. Let's see what else we got. Mr. Jack Asselman is here. He says, Krown, Ethereum, Bitcoin, short, medium term, and long term, please. I got you, man. Let's see what Ethereum, Bitcoin's doing right now. I would like to check in on this one and see where it is in the general scheme of things, because Ethereum and most of the altcoins are not following Bitcoin as much in this last little $500 rally. Man, we're fucking starved for price action if we're getting excited about some shit like that. But to be fair on Ethereum, Bitcoin, how do we close the weekly? Let's see this first. Okay, weekly is a bit of a rejection. I probably would be looking for it to trade back down to the bottom side support of this overall structure here, but I'm not bearish on it. Again, I need to be very careful with the way that I relate my analysis on this. I'm not bearish on anything that looks like this on a weekly or especially a monthly. This is a pretty damn powerful chart still, but I do think that we have downside within the context of this general consolidation range, which short term probably down around about 6 million Satoshis even. If it wants to make another run at the bottom side support of what would be a falling channel, that would be somewhere in the mid to low 5 million Satoshi region. Any of those is fine. I don't think that I have like a strong proclivity towards either one. At least the momentum also say, do they disagree with me? Well, the downside one right here is actually, it's not really playing out too much, and we are kind of coming in line with the slowest moving oscillator, so I'm not getting too much off that. Maybe we need to go into the very short-term timeframes right here. Yeah, you can see a bit of structure, I suppose, going on. I suppose you could trade the 4-hour structure. It's actually a little more obvious on the daily and weekly in this case. And if we do take out the last little 4-hour, just little consolidation high right here at about 6.32 million Satoshis, I would be looking for this one to trade back up towards 6.5 million Satoshis. But generally speaking, Jack, what I'm looking for here is just a general consolidation. And for me, this is one of my rules. When you're in the middle of a consolidation range like this, that's like complete no trade zone. If you don't have access to options, this is a great way to just fucking bleed out your account in my experience. Now, of course, if you are trading this well right now, hey, more power to you. But for myself, personally speaking, I don't necessarily look to trade something like this, like quite literally in the middle of the range. This one can go either which way as far as I'm concerned in the short-term timeframes. But if I am looking at the short-term timeframes, Jack, I would say that actually the upside's a little more likely. The daily a little bit less obvious right here. So you know what? I will actually defer, and this is like a very rare instance here to the short-term timeframes in this case. Hey, what's going on over there? Why are you laughing?
I smashed the like button.
I smashed the like button like it was my best friend's mom. You are such a good friend, sir. You are a true mensch, man. Everyone needs a friend like you, dude. Jesus Christ. That's great, man. That's fucking great. Okay, do we have enough dislikes, though? Have we accumulated dislikes? We have. We've accumulated a little bit more, but the ratio is still pretty fucking shitty, man. We need some more dislikes, my friends. You should not like this content, okay? If we have like a 95% more like to dislike ratio, we're doing something wrong. People should hate this content. This should be a secret cave that no one wants to join. That's exactly where we want to be. Anyways, I think that we're doing a good job with that anyways. But yeah, looking at the higher term timeframes here, Jack, I'm actually not seeing anything that's obvious enough for me to make a great analysis on it. The only obvious thing that I see is that we are still within a more or less healthy consolidation. I see there's nothing bearish to me about this at all on the monthly, but this can take a long time, obviously, and I'd probably be looking for Bitcoin to make a move first before. There he is, Poncho. Oh my God, Poncho, you have no idea how excited I am for potentially the next major dooms drop, man, to drop the most important music video of my lifetime on this channel. Holy shit. Oh my fucking God, man. Anyways, yeah, man, looking at this right here, I look at this as a healthy consolidation, essentially as long as it's riding the bottom side trend line right here. But this one can take a long time, man. And I would have like a major stopping point, Jack, somewhere right around just above 5 million Satoshis. So this can trade sideways for a while, and I wouldn't be looking at any major breakout as long as you're below 7 million Satoshis in this case. Long term, though, I do have a bullish bias on it. Just short term, sideways, and who the fuck knows? I mean, if I'm looking at very short term, it actually suggests upside, probably back up to 6.5 million Satoshis. So I know that that's not too helpful, man. I'm trying to kind of find something that's more obvious right there, but that's the best that I can do for right now, man. All right, let's see what else we got, man. Jordan Chen says, bro, Data Dash be copying yo shit. No, motherfucker. He copied me. Oh man, if I hope that he's seen the CZ telephone call then, because he would absolutely love that one. Who knows who's copying who at this point, man. It's the thing is that if you do have relatively similar forms of analysis, like you're naturally going to come to the same conclusion, which is a good thing. But I haven't really been tuning to his content to be honest with you, so I can't speak for that myself. Vincer Patorzo. Oh man, you must be happy about the Italians winning yesterday, judging by your last name, I'm guessing. TVK USD. Okay, is this a Forex? It is not a Forex. It's a cryptocurrency. God damn it. All right, let's see. What are we doing here? And you're looking at what time frame? You're looking at a daily and weekly. It has a nice rounding bottom. I would not consider this a rounding bottom. This is actually what's known as a bump and run if you're into formations right here. It is a good move, though. It's a very good move. You are popping back above your last little breakdown point. That's typically a good thing. And I would be having a bit of a sort of bias buster right here. I think that you can be somewhat okay on this one, barring a little bit of a sideways short-term consolidation with general continuation back up to the top side of your prior range highs. If we're looking at the weekly right here, yeah, I'd probably be looking for a move somewhere around the 21 in this case. That's just under 26 cents. If you can start to close weekly dildos above there, I would extend targets significantly towards 35 cents or so. But I think that it's a little bit too early, and this one's a little bit too young to judge any more long-term other than that. Now, where would I get bearish back on this one again? Below about let's just call it 14 cents right here. So you do have a bit of a wide short-term consolidation range, and I'd actually just lower this down because I do want to get the big one. In fact, in this case, we'd say 15 cents. So 15 cents would be my line in the sand for this one. I'd generally be looking for a bit of a sideways healthy consolidation, and then another try to the upside right here. We do see that daily RSI is getting rejected from the bullish control zone on its first pass in months here, going back to March, middle of March actually, and that's to be expected. That's not a bad thing. It's good that it's getting back in there. I'd look for it to come back down, test somewhere around the exponential, and then probably try again to the upside. If you see something like that, you'll very, very likely see that next target get hit off, and perhaps that could lead to more over time. Anyways, let me pull up the comments back on over here. It looks like I missed someone. Mr. Justin Tafoya, what's up, man? Krown, tell me you're going on a plane this week. Haha, hope all is well. MicroStrategy short, medium term, please. Sure, man. Let's see. Okay, so another kind of Bitcoin corollary in the stock market, and what do we have? Yeah, actually very good here. digging its way out of this very dastardly accumulation zone. To be fair, how did the weekly close? Yeah, weekly close pretty damn good. I actually do like this signature right here. I would be comfortable saying that this very likely does have an upside resolution on the short-term, medium-term consolidation range, as long as it does maintain above about 560. Let's call it. It's currently about $70 above, or $80 above there actually, and I would be generally targeting to move back up to about basically 800 or so. Anywhere above your 12th of April highs, I would extend the targets back up to basically your last closing highs, which is just under 1100 in fact, and this is going to start to look pretty damn good. For what it's worth, if you're looking at this on a weekly, this is actually fine as of right now. In fact, even the jewel is kind of giving you a signal right here, and the jewel's actually been working pretty damn well on this one too. Now the weekly typically does not work too damn well on it, to be honest with you. It's the daily, hourly, and 2 hour that I absolutely adore right now. But for example, in this one, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the 55 and the 21. When you see something like this, when you see price action essentially getting buoyed off the 55 in the general context of an uptrend on a time frame like this, and then obviously regaining the 21, you're probably going to at least test some upside from there. And the more aggressive traders will look at that as, okay, that was your dip, and we're going to continue trending again. Let's see what the monthly looks like. Monthly is generally good. I wouldn't mind another test back down to like 550 or so, but ultimately the monthly is still more or less bullish, and I would not really change my mind on that as long as it's above $500. It's probably going to take some time to kind of shake itself out, but that's not bad. Yeah, that's not too bad right there when you look at the totality of the history of this one. So fair enough, man. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm glad that you actually, I'm very glad that you put me onto that one. Anyways, you just said short and medium term. Sorry, I didn't even look at any short term on this one. Short term, very short term. Short-term range actually between just about where we're at, about $600 right now, and about 670 or so to the upside. See where the trend line's coming in. Yeah, a 4-hour closure above 670, even an hourly closure above 670. I'd be looking for this one to make a leg up towards about $800. Vice versa for the downside, I would use 550 actually in this case, and you could probably look at another run towards your prior lows at 450, and that would start to really make this one look shitty. I don't know if it would break down exactly from there, but I would be looking for a general breakdown after that. You know what? Now that I remember, did this one have a death cross on it? I believe that it might have actually. So let's see. We got I'll put on the 200 right there. Yes, it did right here. And this is a great example of a terrible death cross, by the way. If you want, let me actually put this one on as well before I say that. Yes. Okay. Fair enough. We'll take that off right now. The chart's getting a little bit too muddy, but this is a good one to talk about. So when you see price action this far away from an actual cross, especially a death cross like this, which is supposed to be important, similar to what you saw in Bitcoin as well, by the way, they're usually not going to play out. In just if you want like a simple rule to make most of your crosses play out more versus not more, it would be this. After a strong trending move for a long time, the first cross in the opposite direction typically does not lead into like a trending move in a reversal format. It's the second one that usually does it. Or you could also just use the yearly moving average, and basically if bearish formations kind of complete above the yearly moving average, typically they don't have a good degree of playing out, and vice versa for bullish below the yearly moving average as well. I use a 377 for that, and keeps me safe in a lot of in a lot of these long-term moves, especially. Anyways, moving on, we have, who else do we have? Mars Bound says, Mr. Krown, hello sir, please look at goes up higher. Oh, this is certainly a cryptocurrency. It's gotta be with a name like that. No, it's actually not. What is this? Is this NYX? That's not Mercantile Exchange. All right, fair enough. Not familiar with this one, but what are we looking at right here? Very weird and sloppy chart. Okay, this is a 4 hour. That's why. Let's go to a daily. Did you say any time frame, by the way? No, you did not. Daily is very unhelpful as well here, to be honest with you. I'm not getting too much from this chart, honestly, man. Long term, it's a god awful chart, to be fair. Wow, it's a terrible chart long term, to be fair. But I do think that we are within the context, or at least it's relevant to consider that we are potentially looking at a MAC reversal right here. Volume signature is kind of what the tell is, plus a weekly reversal right here. And while we haven't necessarily maintained above the 51.5 cent, 51.5 cent resistance right here, I'd say that's sort of your next big hurdle in this one. If you can't even just trade above last week's, not last week's high, but what is this, 21st of June high, I'd be looking for this one to just generally float back up towards its September 18 and March 18th highs, and probably go for like the MAC reversal right here. Very weird chart long term. Not a fan of this long term, but I do think that within the context of a pumping up, you're probably getting ready for another pump on this one. All things considered, it's okay. It's okay. It's not the most confidence inducing chart, but it is okay. All right, let's see what else we have over here. Okay, I got Vincer. Let's see. I think we can get on to the actual comments now too. Oh, no. I missed a few more. Sorry. My bad. All right, let's see. Abadynamic is back again. What's up, man? Gold spot on the daily. I never have enough patience with gold. Yeah, that's a good reason not to trade it, man. Patience is the name of the game. And gold on the daily back above 1800 or so. I do think, what are we looking at right here? Okay, you got a very obvious trade that is almost staring you in the face. Now, I made these trend lines on the weekly, so that's why they're looking all weird right there, but they're actually pretty damn consistent with the daily anyways, just a little bit low if we were to make this on the daily. Now, here's the thing, Abbott. If you see, and this is looking like it probably does happen. Another example of perhaps a fake, a cross fake out right here. So when you see something like this, where the 55 and the 200 especially, the death cross and golden cross moving averages, as they're typically known as, are kind of converging on each other as price action, lulls a little bit below in this case, and then price action rallies up into it and regains one of them, in this case the 200, I look at that as typically going to be a high probability of a fake out in that way. So what's typically going on here? What's going on here is that we also have structural resistance as well. But what's going on here is that, Boston algos are trying to fake out less sophisticated Boston algos into bad positions. So they hint at a cross, and then the ones that want to front run it, thinking that they're smart, get absolutely fucking wrecked on a relatively quick move to the upside. And as you can see, this one's just rallied straight off the lows thus far to this $1,800 level. So I'd still want to see a daily closure above the 55. It's just about $10 higher than where we're at right now. It's currently 1813 and a half or so. Anywhere above there, I'd be looking for this one to essentially climb its way back up to the highs of last month in June, early June, that is. Weekly is okay. Weekly looks like it actually wants to do the same thing as well. And it does look like we potentially have a weekly higher low in place here. And what about the monthly? Monthly is pretty inconsequential. I'm not getting too much from the monthly. The monthly is actually a little more neutral than anything. In fact, if I'm looking at the monthly, it says that we come back down to 1730-ish region, but I'd still be looking for a bounce there and look for, more signs of accumulation. I don't have a major issue with this. It just would be suggesting a little bit of short-term downside from this region. Looking at a 4 hour. Okay, so here's what the Bulas would be looking at on a 4 hour. They want to see something resembling like an ascending triangle right here, which means, again, these are not 100% guaranteed to break out to the upside. But if we do break above our current it's 1813 and a half high right here as well, then I would be looking at that as a damn good signal. It's going to claw its way back up towards 1860 and then probably even 1900. But that also means you do have a bit of a trade on the other side as well. Below 1797 or so, just this last higher low right here, I would look for the monthly to play out and come back down to 1730 or 1740-ish first, and then try for another bounce from there. And this is going to take a longer time. But yeah, man, you're totally right. It's going to take a lot of fucking patience for this one. So unless you have like a multi-month, like on a quarterly bias for this, which the quarterly looks fine. The quarterly is fine here. I mean, this looks like a higher low in the making. It's going to take a long fucking time, man. So yeah, that's why I don't trade things like gold either. When it moves though, to be fair. But man, there's so much other things that move a lot more in Forex land. I think that it's just easy to go. There he is. Nimbo's back. Morning, Elsa. CME, one daily jewel continuation spot, maybe to follow. You know what? I actually do not know my jewel continue, or actually, yeah, would be, I can already tell from the slowest moving oscillator right here. Yeah, Nimbo. So what I like about this is that we've already negated the somewhat bearish signal right here, which I think was a little more obvious on spot price action in this case. You do see that I got the 35 or so $1,000 high right there before moving to 32. But now that it's once again trendless, obviously that needs to precipitate any sort of potential reversal on the signal. Now, if you see the auto fib turn first, that'll be a good sign. It doesn't necessarily have to happen, but I want to see both the cyan color and the auto fib working together above the slowest moving oscillator, which it does look like it is baking right now. So it's definitely a strong potential. And again, it kind of plays into my general bias right now. If I had to call it here, Bitcoin very likely does move to the upside. I see a lot more short-term and medium-term bullish things than bearish things right now. Again, on the short and medium term. For whatever it's worth, though, all higher term time frames still in a downtrend. So, take that as you will. But we do have a chance to potentially reverse a little bit of the trend action right here. So fair enough. All right, cool. Do you trust patterns in crypto, says Micah, i.e. flags and triangles? Triangles have a pretty damn good hit rate in my experience, in the upper 60s to low 70% from my studies. Now, I haven't done that study in the last 6 months, so I typically like to do that every 6 months, but those typically are pretty damn consistent. Flag formations, not as much. Channels, not as much. I think low 60s, and I think it was either low 60s or high 50s. Head and shoulders, definitely not. Although continuation head and shoulders, which are actually hilarious, they seem to work out a lot more in crypto than any other landscape that I've seen. What's the other one? Anything that has like a weird name, I strongly distrust. I think most patterns honestly are not good enough for me to trade. Now, I know several pattern traders out there who are very successful. I don't want to throw shade at people, and I don't think that it's appropriate to ever down talk someone who is having, a successful trading strategy that's just different than yours. It's not for me. So I know several very, very successful pattern traders. In fact, we even have some in the Discord. I mean, fucking Mr. Plums is pretty damn on point with them for what it's worth. So with that in mind, in my experience, Forex and traditional land are better with the more kind of obscure patterns, but in Bitcoin land, it's the ascending and descending triangles that I find have a pretty damn good hit rate. And those are the ones that, those are the few patterns that I will trade. And then also the head and shoulders failure, which is essentially a continuation pattern, which we actually have a chance to do over here in Bitcoin. In fact, if we go over to the weekly, and if we go over to the weekly right here, I'm sure everyone's talking about the head and shoulders right here. You got left shoulder, complex head, right shoulder right here. First off, I can tell you that this is already very unlike, this is already negated essentially. When you're looking at a head and shoulders, you want to see some sort of symmetry between your left shoulder and your right shoulder. In this case, we've already dragged on for about double the time that we saw spent on our left shoulder. So that's your first major warning signal. It's probably not going to work out. Now, the other one would be this. So when you do have a potential fake out for head and shoulders, and by the way, this one did complete above the yearly moving average as well, just saying, because that's all the way down in like the low $30,000 territory, and we have not closed below there, obviously. Anyways, more importantly with this, if you are going to be looking at a potential they're called continuation head and shoulders pattern, you can actually make a pretty damn good measure move on this. And honestly, these have I think these actually have a pretty decent hit rate, but I've not done the studies on it just yet. Now you can do the same sort of measure move on them as you do on a regular one, but you just apply it to the right shoulder in this case, and that actually pointed up towards basically prior all-time highs, and somewhere around like $69,000 or so. So I do now that would again only be confirmed if we do take out the right shoulder right here. I've been saying that I think that it's a lot more likely we get some sort of a trappy situation in the mid to upper $40,000 territory if we even make it there to begin with. And I feel like a lot of people mishear me on this, because like people say, Krown, you keep on talking about the fucking mid 40s and we ain't in the fucking mid 40s. Fuck you, Krown. It's like, okay, look, you need to fucking take out this area first. Otherwise it's not even a topic of conversation. Calm down, sir. Anyways, I'm obviously having a conversation with myself, based off of reading some comments, but it's very interesting. Obviously the majority of people who watch this content, I think they actually make the effort to listen. And in this case right here, I'm actually going to move this down because this is not where I want it anymore. It'd be actually right around here, right around there, boom, and right there. And we should actually move this down as well, so that it could be directly in line with that. And that's where I'd be looking toward. Technically speaking, that would be your technical target, so to speak. All right, cool. Let's see. George West says, Mr. Krown, man, could you look at TSM on the weekly and daily? Yes. It is a stock, I believe. Or is it a crypto? Let's see. That's also, wait, no. Oh my God, it is a crypto. It's Taiwan Semi. What the fuck? Trades on Bittrex and FTX. I don't know which one you're talking about, man. I'm going to guess it's this one right here. This is probably the most legitimate one on New York Stock Exchange. Daily and weekly looks good on the daily. And you do that's about a daily. Yeah, it looks very good on the daily. Oh, what do we have? A slew of higher lows right here, about to pop above your last little consolidation range. I would say any sort of a move above your 15th of June highs, or especially a closure above 120 and a half. We're looking for this one to reapproach the prior highs back on around from 5th of April. In fact, that's about 127 or so. Weekly is looking very good right here. This is very obviously getting reaccumulated, and more aggressive traders will call this an inverted head and shoulders, and I think that it actually is in this case. So a bullish formation in the context of a long-term, massive, extremely impressive uptrend that technically would have a target all the way up to about 134 and a half or so. Monthly probably looks pretty damn. Monthly still looks good, but I don't know if it's necessarily like ready to fucking trend from here. Long-term though, this is a chart of something that's very fucking good, similar to kind of Microsoft chart. These are very, 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 very impressive charts. Now, again, parabolic as fuck. At some point this thing will reverse and it'll be absolutely deadly, and it will take no prisoners, but for now, still okay, I suppose. All right, cool. I need to take a sip of this water, man. I'm really fucking thirsty right now. Michael Action says, Karens are shorting Bitcoin. Do Karens trade? That's scary. Let's see. J3F says SNX USD 15-minute, hourly, and 4. Okay. All right. Seems like you're focused on the low-term timeframes here. Fair enough. To each their own. Let's see. Okay, well, that's the monthly. That's not helpful. 4 hour, good. Breakout is real. Already been retested, yes. And technically speaking, this is a nice little, well, it's just a nice little uptrend reversal. But we got a golden cross right here. We got a bit of a, you can call this an ascending triangle right here as well. Technically speaking, you do have a target a little bit higher, 14 and 40 or so, which is about in line with your prior range highs, actually. So I typically do like these areas in general. It's actually just below 15 bucks. Let's see, you asked about an hourly as well. Hourly, a little bit of short-term sideways and up, it looks like. No, actually, hourly's giving me some short signals right here, but I'd give it a chance to consolidate here. I'm not bearish on this, man. As long as it's above 1275, especially, can come back down there, tag it. That's completely fine, no problem there. But I do think, honestly, man, look at the fucking daily. This one's gonna follow through. This is the exact. Okay, this is a great one to talk about as well. I know you didn't ask about the daily, but this is important right here because this is gonna make your trade a billion times easier, in my opinion. You have another one of these shitty death cross examples right here. Again, we probably don't even have a yearly moving average here. It hasn't even been around for a fucking year. Jesus Christ. But more importantly, happens way far away from price action. The second that this one regains a 55, that's your trigger to be looking for the fake out. And what happens right now, the second that we close above the 200, I'd be looking for this one, not just back up to 15 bucks, but probably back up to 17 and a half or so. And maybe this one just even continues on from there. I mean, this is pretty fucking good right here. Daily RSI back in the bullish control zone, maintaining it for the first time since really February, in my opinion. This one got rejected so fucking fast. That's not what you're looking for. This one is. Looks decent, man. Looks decent, actually. Not bad. Short term though, sideways again can come back down easily to 1275. I wouldn't have any major risks with that. We'll get the 15-minute as well, as you asked for, but I'm not going to feel as confident on the 15-minute. You got a nice little short-term consolidation range between 1313 and 1350. You could probably play that, but I personally would not. Things to come down. 1275 is what I'd be looking for. Again, not problematic there on the medium and higher term time frames, in my opinion. BizT88 says, "Howdy, Miss Krown. Howdy, sir. Howdy, partner. Daily, weekly for Hive. A friend is stuck in at $4.5. Uh-oh, he's stuck in a position. He can't hit the red or green button. He's quite literally stuck. How could they do that to him? It must be CZ at it again, who's fucking trapping people in positions and not letting them take it out." This is actually an example of a good death cross right there. The thing is, though, is that if the rest of the market moves up, this thing is going to be pulled along with it, but it is certainly weak, or relatively weak, I'd say. Let's put it on the log scale. Now, what time frames were we looking at here? No time. Oh, yeah, you did. Okay, so daily, weekly. Okay, let's look at the weekly first. Okay, weekly has a very obvious continuation point. Anywhere above last week's high at 37.88 or so, I'd be looking for this one to pop back up to prior range, like 45 cent or so, maybe 50 cent. Not a big fan of this chart long term. It's quite clearly a pump and dump, but seeing as you just kind of dumped it up pretty hard, probably is more in line with waiting for the next pump here. But goddamn, man, you don't have to choose a chart like this when you got thousands of cryptocurrencies, 90% of them of which are complete bullshit. But there's going to be some successful ones in there too. And here's your next major area of interest right here. I'd even say even a daily closure, especially above the 200 in this case. 36.80 right there would be good enough for me. I'd be targeting moves back up towards 50 cent and above, and this is going to look, okay for another rally. By the same token, to the downside, anywhere below your 9th of July lows right here, bad. I'll just mark this area off right there. I'd be looking for another run back down towards your prior low structure, somewhere around just below 22 cents or so. Will look pretty shitty right there. But again, it's going to depend on what Bitcoin mostly does. If Bitcoin shows any weakness, this one probably gets boo-caked. If Bitcoin shows strength, this one probably doesn't follow as much, but maybe your friend gets out at $4.5. Oh man, wait, what? He's at $4.5? Wait, what? That can't be right. This one's never traded there, at least on this chart. Maybe something or something. Hold on. No, it hasn't on this one either. We must be looking at something different. We must be looking, maybe it's just Hive. Is this it? Is this it? Yeah, it looks like it's this one. Okay, this would look about right. Oh, and this chart's a lot more obvious too, because it's got more long-term history. This is good. Okay, this is actually pretty good. No, I changed my opinion on this one, man. This is fine. It's in a nice little consolidation range. There's your highs, there's your lows. Pretty fucking obvious. Looks like it wants to test around the lows again, 280 to maybe even 260ish region. That's fine. But as long as you just don't take out this area right here, let's call it 260 or so on a daily closure. I look at this as probably going to follow the rest of the market with your next big breakout point above 380 And then would your friend be safe after that? Yeah, I'd probably be looking for a rally just above his entry, somewhere around 460 to 470-ish region, with potential for more. But this is going to take a long time, man. I don't think this one's ready to this one is not mature within this consolidation at all. It is showing a few upside signals right here, but I wouldn't trust it right now, to be honest with you. Yeah, daily showing some down. I think you test the downside here first, probably back down to like 288, 290-ish region first, and then maybe trade sideways for a while, and then try some upside like coming in the next month or two. This one's probably going to take a long time, in my opinion. Then again, I could be wrong. I mean, this is a fucking weird chart long term though. Very weird. Pump and dump in Canadian markets, apparently. All right, cool. Let's see. What else do we have over here? Crypto Chrissy. Hey, a girl? What the fuck? Oh, man. I didn't do my hair today. Hello, Miss or Mrs. Chrissy. Hey, Krown, can you check out Kava USD on short, medium, and long term? Sure. All right, Kava. This one used to be popular, didn't it? I remember hearing this one called out quite often. Let's see. 4 hour or hourly looks good. Actually, this one looks like it could be actually very interesting here. Hold on, what time frames did you ask about? Short, medium, and long term. Okay, I'm gonna look at a 4 hour, daily, and weekly. Hey, where is my chart? Actually very constructive right here. Actually very, very constructive right. Oh my God, this is the exact play that I was talking about earlier. The exact fucking play that I was talking about earlier. When you see these two movement averages converge on each other and hint at that death cross, and at the last second you pump right into it, that's usually going to run the other way. You're seeing it exactly right now. It's consolidating above all major movement averages here. They all have positive slopes, and they're all switching around into bullish posturings. I'd be looking for this one short term to pop back up towards 480. Medium term, probably 505. And then this one's actually one of the more healthy long-term altcoin charts. In fact, this one's got a long-term uptrend here. Weekly looks good. I think this one's ready to roll. Probably back up to $6. We got multiple drives of hidden bullish divergence on the weekly here too. Chrissy, I like this one. I don't know if it's ready for new all-time highs or anything like that, but if assuming that Bitcoin does try some upside, this one probably is going to be one of the better beneficiaries of that. This one's definitely, all things considered, a relatively strong chart in cryptocurrency land. Again, if Bitcoin breaks down, this one will be dragged down with it, of course. But this one showing some obvious strength on its own. That's good. That's very good, actually. Very fucking good. Very impressive. Abbott Dynamics says, how and when do you meditate, and how do you apply it to your trading? Okay, so how and when? All right, so the question is, how and when do I meditate, and how do I apply it to trading? All right, so when do I do it? In the morning. Sometimes I'll do it in the evening as well, but always in the morning, at least 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes, depending upon how I'm feeling. And then how do I do it? Okay, so how do I do it? It's actually very simple, man. People make a fucking mountain out of a molehill with meditation. Look, if anyone's trying to sell you on a goddamn course or an app or any bullshit like that with meditation, it's not that it's bad. It's just you don't fucking need it, man. Meditation's the easiest thing in the world, and it just gets conflated with all this like hippie granola, don't shave your armpits type bullshit, which is completely negating the actual value in it, which is very practical. And it's this. All you're trying to do with meditation is you're trying to train your mind, #TM. You're training your mind essentially to focus on the present moment. And what you realize throughout that practice is you realize that all of the thoughts and whatnot that you have going on during the day are pretty random, actually. You think that you have control of your thoughts, but you don't. Because where do your thoughts come from? Like, think about that. Truly think about that. Where do your thoughts come from? You don't have control. I don't think that you have control of them, or at least I don't think I have control from my thoughts. Like, I think all fucking weird sort of shit all throughout the day, and it's like, if I start to identify with that, I'm gonna think that I'm crazy and need some sort of I am crazy, but I think I'd need definitely a padded cell to live in and shit like that. But more importantly, how do I do it? I literally just sit down on my ass and look at the wall. That's it. You can do it any which way, man. You can close your eyes, you can open your eyes. I think it's better to open your eyes, because what you're really doing is you're really training yourself to be more grounded in any situation. So I want to simulate that as much as possible. Some people think that you need to listen to some music or something, or you need to be in a very quiet place. I say fuck that. That's actually, in my opinion, probably wrong. If you're going to train yourself, when do you train yourself? Do you train yourself when it's super fucking easy? Well, maybe to start, yes, but eventually you're training for those more busy situations. So you want to put yourself under a bit of pressure. You want to put yourself in a weird and awkward situation. I don't mind going outside and when it's kind of loud, or you hear the sounds of the city going on. That's completely fine. And if you can focus your mind on that, it's not even focusing your mind, but just getting out of your mind and focusing on the present moment, that is incredibly useful in my opinion, because you can apply that to just about anything, not just trading. And I didn't even learn learn it for, I mean, I kind of learned it for trading, to be honest, but I kind of just learned it as like a general life skill because I was sold on it more importantly, but it flows into everything. So with trading, how do you apply it? Well, look, when you're in a bad trade, for example, like let's say, or not even if you're in a bad trade, if you're just in a trade, a lot of the time what happens, if you're like me, your mind starts running in both directions. Whenever price action ticks one tick in your favor, you're like, oh my God, I'm going to be fucking rich. I'm going to use the money for this and that. I'm going to fucking move my stop up over here. I'm going to target much further deep because this one's the big one. This is the one that's going to 100 million gazillion. Or on the other side, when you get fearful, you start your mind starts, or at least my mind starts running in the opposite direction. It starts saying like shit like, oh my God, I'm going to lose everything right now. This is going to be the time. It's a black swan event. The exchange is going to close down, and I'm going to lose everything that I ever made and worked for in my life, and I'm going to go back down to zero, and that fucking sucks. Blah 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 blah. Both of these are two sides of the same coin. Obviously, what's actually happening is what is right there in front of you in the present moment. Nothing more, nothing less. You can't fucking have a crystal ball for the future, and anytime that you worry about that, you're just producing anxiety that's only going to get in your way anyways, and tilt you off your axis, which is where you need to be in a centered moment in order to make the best decisions possible for yourself. And when it comes to trading, especially when you have finances on the line, do you think it's going to be a good idea to have like your fucking mental RAM all scrambled up in bullshit? Absolutely fucking not, man. Or at least in my opinion, absolutely fucking not, because you need access to all of your highest level facilities in order to do this. And at least in my experience, because it's a rather difficult thing to do for the most part. Once you kind of get it down, I think after that, it's like most things. It's like walking, when you're first starting to learn how to walk, it's difficult. And you're like, what the fuck? How do I do this shit? and then after you've done it for a while, it starts to become second nature. And that's pretty much any skill in life, trading included. But trading has, the added complexity of having finances involved. So again, to go back and reiterate your question, the question was, how and when do you meditate, and how do you apply it to your trading? When do I do it? In the morning, sometimes at night, for 15 minutes minimum, sometimes 20 minutes. How do I do it? I stare at the wall, or I go outside and stare at just whatever the hell's in front of me, and I keep my eyes open and try to just let my thoughts arise, and then not identify with them, and then just let them go by the wayside until the mind just kind of quiets. After about minute 10 or 15, you start to kind of enter into a more focused state, I would say. And from there, that's kind of where I want to be, or at least that's where I want to remind myself of where I want to be if I find myself in a difficult situation later in the day, perhaps related to trading, perhaps related to anything, basically, maybe it could be gaming too, who the fuck knows. And then I can start to cultivate that as a skill when I am under pressure, in order to essentially bring myself back towards that, in order to not identify with either positive or negative thoughts, so to speak, because I have a deep understanding that those thoughts are not what's going to make you successful. It's adherence to the present moment and adherence to what's actually fucking going on in reality at this moment in time that's going to give you the best shot, the best opportunity to do and accomplish what you're setting out to fucking do. So with trading, that means not getting in your own way, essentially. How many times you've entered into a trade, or how many times have I entered into my own trades and got in my own way, especially when I was first beginning? All the fucking time, man. All the fucking time. I'd have like a great plan. I'd be like, holy shit, if I actually just followed my plan, I would be rich as fuck, but it's like something gets in the way there where you don't follow your plan. So that's where I find meditation has a great value, because you can start to disassociate with those thoughts, and you can just associate with what's actually happening, which is the most real thing anyways. Like, that's literally as real as it gets by fucking definition. So that's it. Hopefully that wasn't too long-winded, and hopefully that was in some way helpful. Maybe I just went on a fucking ridiculous rant right there for no reason, but I think I got all my thoughts right there. All right, cool. Let's see. Nico Senpai says SPCE, daily and weekly maybe. Okay, let's check it out. SPCE. All right, there we go. Virgin Galactic. Oh yeah, they just had their rocket fire off or whatever. And you're looking at it daily and weekly. Thanks again for your content and consistent help. Hey, my pleasure, sir. Okay, so this one actually is looking okay, right? Okay, that's a 4 hour. It still looks okay on the daily. Nice little consolidation above all major movement averages. We do have a golden cross over here. I'm generally bullish on this one, probably looking for it to retest around its prior highs. But is that happening this week? Probably yes, actually. Daily Jewel is trendless now, and this is actually good. And we do see that daily RSI has a drive of hidden bullish evidence right there. Let's see what the weekly looks like here too. Weekly looks okay, and you have a pretty obvious trade on the weekly, actually. In fact, I would just look at the weekly. Look, if you take out the top side of last week, I'd be looking for this one to retest highs, you know, around 57, maybe even $60, and probably try for new all-time highs. If we take out the low of last week, which is 43 and 2 cents, I'd be looking for this one to come back down, not to this area right here. Let's do this for the weekly. I'd be looking for it to generally come back down over the next few weeks, down to about 35 and a half or so. I would have a natural bullish bias because, well, it's a fucking uptrend, man. Typically, the trend is your friend in these cases. Yeah, it looks pretty good here. I mean, weekly RSI tells a story on this one. I would be bullishly biased on this one. Monthly, yeah, good. Monthly says probably new all-time highs over the next month or two. Okay, OP effing Taylor says, from 2011 till now, is that a cup and handle on gold? Okay, this is a really good question because I have actually been asking myself the same question. So let's go look at this. I know that you said a monthly, but I think this is going to be easier to see on a higher term time frame than that. And where's my fucking gold? Where's my goddamn fucking gold? Where is it? There it is. Found it. 1800. Okay, I knew I had it somewhere around here. Okay, so you're looking at a monthly. Let's actually take off log scale too. Yes, this would fit the bill as a cup and handle. So the key things that you're looking for here is you're looking for low volume in the cup portion, and you're looking for rising volume on the handle portion that tails off in the fashion of some sort of, you know, falling wedge, falling channel, some sort of typically bullish resolved formation, which I do think that we kind of have in right here. I think it's a little bit easier to see on a bi-monthly and probably a quarterly. Bi-monthly is actually not as obvious, but the quarterly I think is rather obvious right here. Like it's general. I do think that this one probably does trade up from this region. It's pretty damn good. What about the 6 month? 6 month less obvious actually. So maybe I hold my breath on that one, but I would say that yes, it does have the characteristics of it. More importantly, nothing's guaranteed obviously in trading. So where does the picture change? Hey, below this last low here, 1700, bad. this one's about to get cupped again. You know, come back down to 1500 and probably even lower than that over time. To the other side though, I'd be looking at anywhere above this last monthly high right here as likely a continuation point as well. If you want to go buy the book, you'd probably be looking for back above about $2,000 or so. Okay, cool. All right. Super Googly Lee says, hello, sir. Hello, good sir. Hope you had a good weekend. I did, man. It was actually quite nice. We watched Harry Potter, and it's actually a really fucking good movie, man. Did you like it, sir? Yes. I also liked it as well. All right. Can we have a look at MCD? Is this McDonald's? You have a comment. Okay. What's your comment? Please. Can you please don't swear too much? Sir, please understand that my swearing in language is never intended to offend. It's just kind of... Oh, it's a Zer. Oh, well, Zer or Zher or whatever you'd prefer to be called. You let me know. It's not intended to offend anyone. It's just, you know, a lazy way of expressing yourself when you're creating, you know, 2 hours of free content every fucking day. Anyways, with that said, looking at this, is this McDonald's? Is this McDonald's? Whatever it is, fucking bullish. Sorry, I used the F word again. My bad. All right. Yeah, this is very, very good right here. Looks like we charted it out a while ago. This must have been like literally years ago. Yeah, about a year. Yeah, about a couple years ago, 2019 actually, right there. Not bad. Hey, technical analysis bullshit every once in a while. Every fucking once in a while it works. Yeah, this is very, very good. Okay, so monthly RSI is one that's kind of speaking volumes right here. Hidden bullish divergence back in the bullish control zone. And this one's just been good for a long time. Really fucking good right here. Even monthly, Jules going for another Jesus Christ, man. 6 month is continuation. All higher term timeframes are not just bullish, but they are bullish as fuck. Shit, I did it again. Quarterly, good. Bi-monthly, good. I don't have targets. Or actually, I could maybe come up with some targets. We do have a nice obvious consolidation range right here, right? Okay, so let's just see what the magical fibs say. We've already consolidated above the 1414, so that's typically leading to continuation probably up to 250. And as much as like 270, 275 before the next like major potential macro pullback. But this is pretty fucking good right here. Very, 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 very nice chart. Again, a very parabolic and ridiculous looking chart long term, but I think that this one can go for more before the inevitable happens. Even in the short term time frames like a daily, you got a nice little ascending triangle right up basically your all-time highs. I mean, this is what strength looks like. This is what a good chart looks like. So send in your applications because maybe they can afford to pay you more than $15 an hour from now on, seeing as our stock's doing so fucking well. Daily's fine as long as you're above 230 or so, 230 and a half actually. All right, cool. Abbott's back. He says, you can join me in my padded seltzer. Fuck yeah, man. Thank you very much for helping me master my psychology. Man, it's something that you always kind of work at, man. And I'm happy to share all the things that I've been, trying to learn there. It's sometimes it's kind of like banging my head against the wall, but usually for good reason. It's been the most drastic improvement to my trading since inception. Yeah, man, and you know, those things like carry on to everything in life. I strongly believe that. You know, I mean, because it's all coming from like the same root. You know, you need to have like that. You need to have that strong sort of core, in my opinion, in order to basically do anything of particular worth. That's why I'm always like very skeptical when I meet someone who claims that they're successful, but like they're obviously mentally in some sort of torture. You know, like that's a really fucking sad thing, honestly. But you know, you see it all that you see it quite often, actually. And I don't know, man. I've pretty much always found that those people are usually not who they portray themselves to be. And so I've been led stronger and stronger to believe that, you know, it is really a strong component of like anyone who's like actually fucking done anything that I think is worthwhile. Then again, I mean, it's, you know, it's a personal preference as well. So who knows? Who fucking knows, man? Maybe I shouldn't even give my stupid opinion on that. Crypto Dogma says, morning, sir. What's up, man? Have you ever considered a giveaway on the Caretaker's RSI indicator? Never! Would love to use it. Have a great day. We can do a giveaway, but it's definitely not going to be for you. Just kidding, man. No, we haven't decided. We haven't done that. I'd have to talk with Caretaker, but it's up to him, man. It's his indicator. But what I would say is, look, man, you can also just learn divergences and not have to rely on an indicator like that as well. Now you won't. Well, I don't know if there's any way to figure out like hidden divergences, or sorry, not hidden, but what we've been calling phantom divergences. But more importantly, with that. Look, man, divergence is a pretty simple concept, actually. It's just talking about a lack or gain of momentum from the RSI oscillator in comparison to price action. When RSI makes lower lows while price action makes higher lows, what did we, or sorry, when, Jesus Christ, man, now I've forgotten. I've been using this one for too long. Jesus, man. So when RSI makes lower highs, when price action is making higher highs, what is that telling you? It's telling you that price action is getting higher, but on less momentum. So typically speaking, you can probably look for a bit of a pullback. Vice versa for the downside. When price action is making lower lows and RSI is making higher lows, the momentum to the downside is waning. So you can probably look for, at the very least, a bit of a bounce. And then you have your hidden divergences too, which are what? Well, when you're within the context of a downtrend and price action makes a lower high, but RSI also makes a higher high, then what is that telling you? Bulls used more strength, or sorry, they used more power on the RSI in order to get less price action in their way. And well, that's considered a failure and continuation of trend, essentially. And it works out well enough to where it's like RSI is always on my charts, man. I always like looking at it. It's one of those things. It's like, you know, people might look at you like a fucking noob for using the RSI, but goddamn, man. Goddamn, man. It's sir, what's going on over there? Elsa's having another laugh attack. There you go. Zeostorm, what's up, man? We all have areas we can improve in. Can you share your sticking points in trading? Oh yeah, man. Okay, so my biggest sticking point in trading was like the obvious one when I went broke, and my biggest sticking point there, like in its essence, was that I basically was not. Well, a symptom of it was I was not listening. I was not adhering to my plan as I spoke about earlier, because I thought that I was better than the market. I thought that I knew what was going to go on. I thought that my training. I thought that my sort of not heritage, but my knowledge that I learned from very successful traders put me in a sort of echelon where I no longer had to like consider the possibilities of me being wrong, or at least I would drastically fight against the market. So for me, that was a big one, because when I grew up, right, I grew up as an American citizen. I grew up in California, around San Francisco, and you know, going to school in that sort of environment. And I imagine this is very similar for most people in the first world, or at least in the Western world. You know, what are you taught when you go to school? It's like, get the right fucking answer, and that's the only way to do things. You're taught that you need to be right in order to be successful, and that is, you know, obviously true. But ask anyone who's ever been successful. You kind of have to learn how to fail and know how to work around that. And so for myself, you know, being brought up in that, I always thought that it was like not morally wrong, but it was like fundamentally wrong to be wrong. It's like, if I'm wrong, I am wrong as a person, and if I'm wrong as a person, then I'm just a waste of space. I'm fucking worthless. Well, that's obviously not the truth, especially, you know, due to meditation. It's like, you're a person. You're always going to be a fucking person. You don't have to worry about that. You can be a person who is wrong. You can be a person who is right, but you are still a person in the core, and nothing changes that, unless if you like, you know, get some sort of an operation where you become a Zer or her. But with that in mind, I would say, going back to your question right on over here, lots of people on crypto Twitter pretend to be perfect. That would be my exact opposite of what I had to learn in trading. It was accepting imperfectness, because when I went broke, I couldn't accept that I could be wrong. I couldn't accept that I could be imperfect. And what I had to learn is that, look, when you have a trade idea, that's fine. It doesn't, if it works out in your favor versus whether it doesn't work out in your favor, that is not up for you to decide. All you can do and all you can judge yourself in trading is by finding a setup that suits your plan and then having your position and risk management points, essentially already identified. For myself, I thought that if I was going to be wrong on a trade, that would drastically, contradict my identity. And so I wouldn't even let it enter the space. And so what I did is I'll show you right here, is in 2013, 2014, 2015, somewhere around there. It's a long time now that I can't even remember. I was just shorting the fucking market all the way up on SPY. Well, not on SPY, but in general markets. So where the hell, we need to go way back on over here. Way back on over here. Yeah, somewhere around here. And guess what? Eventually I was right, but I went broke before that point. And that was a very painful lesson, man. That was a very fucking painful lesson. So yeah, man, it's okay to be wrong, but you need to fucking change your position when you're wrong. And it's natural to be wrong, because look, people are, oh man, I fucking saw a perfect thing yesterday. So I don't know if you watched yesterday's video, but in yesterday's video, I brought on a Twitter post from someone that basically showed that this person had a strategy that had a 99% win rate. A 99% win rate, and it was going well for 3-4 months. They were winning every trade, and their equity curve was just steadily going up. No downticks on it. It's just steadily going up. And then in just one fucking event, it falls off the cliff, they get liquidated, and done. They're out, gone, just fucking gone. And I see that all the time. People are looking for the perfect strategy, and there is none. You're going to have to take losses at some point, because guess what? 10 Sigma fucking events exist, and if they exist, you have to plan for them, and that means entertaining the possibility that you could be wrong. Even if you have a 99 spot, 9999999999999 and 999% probability to win your trade, there's going to be a black swan event at some point in time. The black swans are non-zero probability, and so that just means it's a matter of time before you get fucking wrecked. There is no such thing as perfect in trading. In fact, I've been around some of the best traders in the world, some of the best of the best of the best, and they, most of them are happy to win 70-75% of their trades. That's considered pretty fucking good. Even 55% is okay, if you're high frequency trading, that's great actually. 51% on HFT is fucking amazing. But yeah, man, you get the picture. So for anyone who's portraying a perfect picture, I can tell you in my experience that has not been consistent with reality. If you're trying to be perfect in trading, the only way that you can be perfect is finding the right setups and then having your risk and position management. That's a way that you can be perfect, but you can't control the results. You just have to trust by usually back testing your fucking your strategy, which you should do, that your results will follow if you just follow your strategy. Which if you take the goddamn couple weeks to figure out, you can do it. I mean, most people can learn a decent enough trading strategy, maybe not the most optimal one of all time, but at least a successful one within probably a month or two if they really know what to fucking do. It's just we get in our own ways most of the time. I imagine that probably anyone, honestly anyone, could probably learn how to identify a trend. If you can identify a trend, you can trade decently well enough, in my opinion, at least on a daily. I taught Elsa how to identify local highs and local lows. All we did was we put it on a line chart, we took off this, that's all she had to look at. She's like, okay, that's a high, that's a low, that's a lower high, and that's a lower low in comparison to this low. So we have a downtrend. Oh shit, I should probably either not be long or be short. Elsa's also a genius. Elsa's a very creatively minded type of person. She has art and whatnot in her blood. And she runs away whenever she sees numbers and math and stuff. But you can see this rather easily, and it's not gonna be perfect. You're not gonna get the ultimate fucking high or the ultimate fucking low, but it can be done. It can be done. That's my point. So yeah, man, it's like a deductive process of letting go of your idea of what you think is right or who you think should be, at least in my case. And I think a lot of people who grew up in Western societies, anyways, okay, cool. Epidemic says, sir, caretakers our side is underpriced. Thank you. And thanks to him for providing such a value. Yeah, I mean, it's actually kind of crazy. Like I said, I'd been using RSI for like 10 years before he brought this one out, and I thought I knew everything about it. And then it's like, what the fuck are these phantom divs right here? And then it's like, okay, they work? What the hell? what the fuck is this? So it's like whenever you think you know everything about something, it's like, oh no, I actually don't. So fair enough, man. To Love It All says, hey Krown, can you check out AXS USDT on the 4-hour daily and 3-day? Sure. Okay, AXS USD. Right here. And let's see what we got. Really fucking good. What the hell? This thing is like the best crypto chart I've seen in a very long time. What the fuck is this? Don't need to see a 4-hour because this thing's bullish as fuck. Maybe this thing does come back down to like 16 and a half if things get really crazy, maybe somewhere down around the 55 at like $14, but all higher term time frames bullish, daily bullish, weekly mega dildo, monthly. You don't need me to tell you about that one. I don't have any targets on this because this is just a blue sky breakout, price discovery. This one's in its own land. I don't have any particular. I don't have anything particularly profound or helpful to say about this, man. $13.50 would be the area where I'd start to say, okay, this rally is going to be another fake pump before another dump. But for right now, still bullish on pretty much every time frame. 4-hour, we're not even getting bearish divergence right now. It's consolidating, so. Probably does have a move down to like 16, 70 or so, but long term, this is like this is the best chart we've seen definitely today in cryptocurrency land. That is, can't really compete with stock charts, but yeah, man, very impressive, very fucking impressive. Okay, cool. Nico Senpai says, oh, Nvidia, yeah, let's look at Nvidia daily, weekly, DDM. Here we go on Nasdaq. All right, let's see it. And you're looking at daily and weekly, is that right? Okay, I'm looking for calls, puts into the week and maybe coming weeks. Well. Holy shit. Another very good chart, but this one looks like it actually might have topped. It is kind of like a runaway top right here. It's not an island top, but it does look kind of nasty. Let's see what the low term time frames look like. Yeah, it probably does pop back up here, to be fair. Jesus fucking Christ, man. What the hell? What the actual hell? Okay, so let's actually address your question here. Weekly, it does look a little bit toppy on a weekly. I wouldn't be surprised to see it have a very short-term move back to the upside and then come back down. This would be one of the times where I'd probably be interested in like buying a put spread. Let's see what volatility looks like right now. Yeah, volatility is waning actually and contracting here. I'm not guaranteeing that this one comes down, but it does look a little bit short-term toppy to me. Then again, you got a very easy way to be managing risk. Anywhere above last week's high, this thing's gonna melt up. I don't have any targets give on this thing because this is in pure price discovery, but maybe we could come up with some fib targets. Maybe. Actually, I guess we could. 850 to 860 would be like the next major areas. I mean, we're pretty close there already. Like you could already look at this as pretty much hitting the 272. This really impressive rally. Maybe it has one more move up there, but I do think this one is getting somewhat tired. I don't know. Then again, I look at the weekly and that does not say that. Maybe I buy a fucking call spread in this case. Of course, this is not financial advice, but do we have hidden bullish divergence here? We do. Well, at least we do, potentially speaking. Oh my God. And that's coming in from the last low at 724. What the hell? That'd at least get you back up to like 815, 820-ish region. God damn, man. Oh, that's on a 4-hour. Sorry, let's go to a daily. Does daily have the same one? Actually, yes. Oh my God. Going all the way back here. That is wild. That is fucking wild. Very, 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 very impressive chart. Man, when I was trading Nvidia, how much was this? It was like way over here. Oh my God, it wasn't even over there. Oh my fucking God. What the hell? Hey, what? This one was like $100, I remember when I was trading it. Yeah. It was like 100. It was like over here. Oh my Lord. What the fuck? Graphics cards are a hell of a drug. Apparently, it does look toppier, to be fair, man. That one's probably going to turn around like fast once it does, but I'm not sure it's ready just yet. Hey, what's up, Mr. Daniel Frank? Appreciate that, man. Thank you. I watch you every morning for like 18 months. Holy shit. My God. Can you check out dollar versus Bulgarian lev? Is that it? Okay. Long term, 1, 2, 3, 6 months. Okay. All right. USD BGN, is that right? Yes, it is. Okay. All right, and you're looking at very high term timeframes. This looks very similar to a Dixie chart. Let me, 1 second, I do need to take a sip of this water really quickly. Ah, so good. Finnish water, the best water. Okay, bit of a monthly range between about 163 and of course our prior high about 166.5. I do generally favor the upside here for US dollar. Bi-monthly, same thing. What about quarterly? Okay, quarterly does show a bit of a different picture, I would say. Quarterly does say to hold your horses on getting full on bullish on this one until we get back above 166.5 last quarterly high. If we do check out last quarterly low, this one's going to fall apart, like big long-term moves to the downside. Like 140 is where I'd be looking towards, and probably lower than that over time, somewhere around like 129.5 or so. But I give it the benefit of the doubt for now. We do technically have a higher low in place on the quarterly, that is. Do we have hidden bullish divergence as we would expect on something like this? Yeah, pretty much is there. But if you want to go by the book, you'd wait for this quarterly to take out last quarterly high, and then you could probably target a move back up at the very least to 171, probably back up to the top side of this range over here at 178, maybe 180. You also, that's for a 6 month. 6 month looks a little bit more on the bullish side to me as well. I'm not getting too much from this because we don't have like 100 years of history here, but yearly chart not giving me too much as well. I don't have anything to say about that. But most higher term time frames are painting a more bullish picture than bearish picture, I would say. So I do think you got a big monthly range here, but I would generally be biased to the upside. I want to see it take out this little high structure right here. That's kind of like bullish confirmation for myself, looking for big moves back up to the top side of the range, and maybe this even just continues onwards and forwards because it has been in an uptrend ever since 08. So take that as you will. Bitcoin rallying. Ooh, we have a little bit of a rally. Nice one. We have an hourly golden cross. Holy shit. Going to the moon, baby. Andy G says CGLD, USD, Coinbase. Okay, see, man, Coinbase lists everything now, don't they? Oh my God, they really do list everything. What time frame are you looking at? No time frames given. This one, definitely not an impressive chart here. You know, we do see a lot of cryptocurrency charts like actually acting okay. This is not one of them. But again, it's going to mirror whatever Bitcoin does. But to the upside, I would expect it not to follow as much. To the downside, I'd expect it to get absolutely fucking bouquet back down to like $2.25 or $2. Let's look at the weekly. Terrible. 310, 312 is like where I'd be looking for this one to get stopped again. This is not the one that I want to be in if Bitcoin starts to show some strength. Probably can't short this one, but you know, you do have an obvious area for downside continuation right here below 283 or so, and I'd be looking back down to like low $2 over time. By the same token, as long as this holds, probably does follow the rest of the market, and the rest of the market does look like wants to test a little bit of upside here. So wouldn't be surprised to see this thing, you know, let's say Bitcoin tests up to like 35 or 36 or so. I'd be looking for this one to like 310, but definitely going to be a laggard, it looks like here. I mean, this is not a healthy or impressive chart by any stretch of the imagination. Very, 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 very suspect, I'd say. Don't like it, man. Don't like it. Again, going to follow whatever Bitcoin does, but not as much, unfortunately. Oh, nice, man. We got the like to dislike ratio up big time right there. Holy shit. This is like the most dislikes I've ever had, I think. Damn, it's good. All right, let's see. I'm going to be back on to the bottom side of these comments right here. Okay. Mr. Jev is back at it. Fuddle Duddle, autocorrect made me say a bad word. Diddle? What is diddle a bad word? The quality channel says, to the guy who requested USD Bulgarian, mate, are you Bulgarian? Probably, if I had to guess. Probably. Hey, thanks for that, Gordy boy. Appreciate that, man. Gordy boy, holy shit, man. It's been a long time. Are you the Gordy boy? I think you are the Gordy boy. It's good to see you, man. Kick rocks, pencil next. There you go. Zeo Storm says, areas to re-enter for HTR. Okay, HTR, what is this? I'm guessing this is probably crypto. It is a crypto, of course. It's Hathor. Hathor? Is this the mountains crypto? Is that what this is? Okay, look, I don't like this chart overall, but we do see some interesting signs of a reversal going on right here. Volume precipitating this move, which I do like. I'd probably be looking for this one to trade back up to like 62 cents or so. But it's hard to get like, you know, bigger, badder bullish as long as it's below that area on a closing basis or just above this wick high, like 6.25. So if you do start to check out that area, you probably do rally with the rest of the market. Probably going to imply that Bitcoin's back above like 36 or so. And there's your next big major area to be aware of, like 88.30ish or so. 88 or 30. There we go. Holy shit, there it is. 40. My God. It's the biggest, most dislikes we've ever had ever. Holy shit, man. I'm definitely doing something wrong now. All right. CG3 says OHM DAI sushi. Okay. OHM DAI. OHM DAI. Is this it? Okay. Yeah. You, I think someone asked about this last time. weird chart, man. I really don't like these pumping up charts, but you can see like obvious areas of action. Back above 500, I'd be looking for this one to really roll back to like 650 or so. This one's very fucking emotional though. Very fucking emotional. You know, I suppose you could be looking at as likely to play with the rest of this market as long as it's above about 365 or so, but I'm always skeptical of a chart that looks like this, man. I'm not a fan of that. Again, Bitcoin's going to decide direction here. If Bitcoin tests up to like 36 or so, I'd be looking for this one at 500. Below here, big problems, 365. I'd be looking for not a retest, but just a drop back down to like 240, 225 or so. Dislikes are ruined, and holy shit, man, it's bad. It's real fucking bad. I'm going to get banned from YouTube's now. BTT V emotes. You mean like for Twitch? We're on YouTube right now, sir. Let's see. I just clicked on stream and he said to dislike the button. So I'm like, okay, there you go, man. No, it's all good. From what I understand, actually, liking or disliking the video is actually viewed as the same thing to the YouTube algorithm. In fact, that's apparently what I'm told. Anyways, let's see. Luna USDT on Binance. Okay, we could look at that one. That one's typically pretty damn popular. Oh, damn, we're almost 2 hours into this already. Let's see. Ooh, hey, not bad. Not bad, man. Closing back above the 200 exponential average right there after hinting at a bit of a failed death cross. Again, very far away from price action. Very fucking good. I think this one's probably going to roll. I think this one's probably going to move up. Generally speaking, I'll be looking towards about 10 and a quarter or so. Whatever happened to the soundboard? Any news? Actually, let me see. Do I still have it right here? I don't think I do. I got all sorts of shit on this one. I got all kinds of sexual sounds, and I don't think I actually have it anymore. That's sad. Maybe here. No, I don't. What the fuck? Did I get rid of it? Man, I need to redo my soundboard. There you go. Time flies when you're having fun. That is very true because you're in the moment, sir. Let's see. Anderson Severin says, why is everyone looking in every dark corners for the weirdest asset? Doesn't anyone have a good There's actually been some pretty damn good charts today, but yeah, you know, that's one thing that I really say is like, look, if you're in this market in cryptocurrency and you truly believe in it, you don't have to choose like the shittiest chart. Like there are some charts that actually look good. And we've seen a few of them today. And this is on log scale right here, so it doesn't look as bad. This is your real chart, right? You know, it probably does run to the upside here. I do kind of like this signature. Daily Jewel still going up. Daily RSI still fine. I don't have any major issues with this. Again, it looks like it wants to run with Bitcoin. This one's a little bit on the relatively strong side short term. Can be short term bullish on as long as it's above about 769 or so. Luna, a shot caller in this market. Yeah, I mean, Luna has been one of the more, it's been kind of interesting. I'm not a big fan of this massive death drop right here. Let's see how much it dropped from the prior time highs. That's what I'm curious about. How much does this one get slacked in the face compared to everything else? Yeah, 80%. That's not good, man. The good ones drop down about 50%. The bad ones drop down more than like 70 in my opinion. Mark Dotree says, hey Krown, what's up, man? How's Matic USD doing long term? Okay, let's check it out. Where's my Matics? 104. Again, you know, this one is very sad here. Did come down about 60%, so all things considered, actually didn't get smacked on the face as hard as a lot of the other ones, but this one just did so well to the upside in the last cycle that you would have expected it to not act with most of the shit coins in this current consolidation. Anyways, we have a very obvious chart right here. Still looking at the $1 or so support. As long as we're above there, I wouldn't necessarily trade a breakdown. Below there, yes, you got big problems. Probably a straight shot down to like 75 cents or so, and probably bounce there. And who knows what happens after that? Maybe back down to the fucking gutter. But for right now, I give it the benefit of the doubt, man. It doesn't look like it's following Bitcoin as much. I mean, looking at the 4 hour right here, it's certainly not. It's kind of it's relatively weak short term, man. I don't like that. But momentum oscillators do point a little bit more of at least another try to the upside. 108 is certainly another question, but it's hard to get excited on this one as long as you're below the range highs here, and that's going to be 120 or so. Actually move it down exactly to the range highs. Yeah, just below 121, I'd say. Above there, you can start to look for moves back up towards 150 relatively quick, and then probably like 175 or so. But again, a bit of a laggard here, which I wouldn't have expected on something like this, because this one was one of the better acting ones. Weekly's like not hot, so it's really up to Bitcoin to kind of choose direction here. If Bitcoin breaks down, this one's probably going to get hit a little bit harder than most things. Ooh, nice one. Okay, Zeostorm has a really good question. You said you're only going to look for the easy trades on Bitcoin. Is that below 30,000 bucks and to the upside if we break 36,000 bucks? Okay, so I actually really do not like playing breakouts. I could potentially entertain those. But what I'm looking for is I'm actually looking to play the counter trade. Actually, I like trading the peripheries and just scalping and then holding, my collateral in Bitcoin, which I look at it as like, basically participating in the up moves anyways, especially when you get your paid out in Bitcoin as well. Fair enough. So what I'd be looking at? Well, I like scalp plays right around the prior highs of this range, 40,000 bucks. I like scalp plays at 45. I like scalp plays at 50,000 bucks right here. To the downside, you got maybe like a short-term bounce at 30,000 bucks, but realistically 27, 20, 24, and then 19 or 20,000 bucks where I'd be looking for, just playing the bounces. And then, if I see some that's what I want to see to hold like a long-term long is what I spoke about on yesterday's video. I need to see that blue buy signal on the hash rate indicator. Until that happens, I'm not holding any long-term long positions. To the downside, I don't really want to short right here. I mean, we are kind of on support. Yes, it has been tested many times. That's typically not the best signal, but I am feeling a little bit more upside postured here, especially in the short-term time frame. So I want to be respectful of that and not get caught with my pants down in a bad position when there's going to be some like easy and big trades on the other side. Now, if you do want to play the breakouts, again, be my guest. It's up to you, of course. It's not my bread and butter as far as what I do, but above 36,000 bucks, probably have a nice long opportunity. Below about 30, 31, we'll say on a daily, probably got a nice short opportunity. Okay, cool. Let's see. Arctipex says, hey Krown, can you look at D's on the 4-hour and 8-hour? Elsa says, I'm a simp. Love you guys. I love you too, sir. Is this a real thing? D's? Oh, motherfucker. I got D's nuts trolling me again. God damn it. Just when you think you figured out the internet, you get trolled for the millionth and billionth fucking time. Feels bad, man. Feels really bad. Let's see. What else do we have here? Elsa, maybe you should swear us in tomorrow. Let's do it, baby. Let's fucking do it. God damn it, man. I got trolled by the internet again. You would think I would learn after being on the internet for like 3.5 years now, but no, I can't get it. Much love, sir. Much love, sir. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else that looks good here, or do we want to shut this one down soon enough? I feel like there's some we haven't even looked at Ethereum today. Let's go look at Ethereum really quickly. Ethereum hourly, definitely not as strong as Bitcoin short term. Daily, again, same thing. Do we have a potential higher low going on right here? Potentially, yes, but I need to see a tick higher than the 10th of July. That's 188.90, and then probably look for another move back up to the top side of this range. Could we potentially print hidden bullish divergence on this as well? No, we would not. Yeah, not as interesting. Downside's a lot easier on this one too. Mark Ty, what's up, man? Can you check out OMI on gate.io daily weekly? Okay. Let's see if it's on here, man. I'm not certain that it's on here. Yeah, it looks like it's not on here. On gate.io. Okay. Let's see. I'm guessing it's a crypto. Not finding it, man. I don't think that, yeah, it does not look like TradingView hosts that exchange, unfortunately. So I am limited by what TradingView hosts here. So unfortunately, I can't look at that, man. How do I get in Discord? Y'all make my plums swell. You just click in the link in the description below, and you have to get past our alt identifier bot. There's actually a video on it. It's a channel video for this channel. It's redundant as fuck, but basically, when you join the Discord, you're gonna get a private message that you have to respond to in about 10 minutes from alt identifier. It's our bot, basically. It's a security bot. It's going to ask you to verify yourself with some social media, basically, and from there you can get in and get access, or you can just bother Elsa with an email, and if she's free, she'll help you out. Hey, what's up, Mr. Crypto Yellow Vest? There he is, mon ami. There he is, Mr. French himself. The Adventures of Galactic Traveler says 1 USD daily weekly. Okay, let's check it out. Let's check it out, sir. All right, one. This is Harmony, and I remember we looked at this one last week, right? And it was looking actually, well, what was it looking like? It was actually looking okay. Yeah, it did maintain above the 200 right there. Good. That is the daily after all. What do we see on the weekly? I think the weekly is actually okay here. Yes, we did not confirm above the 21, but here's what I like about it. Weekly Jewel is trendless again. So the downtrend is, or at least the downside signal is no longer present. And we do have hidden bullish evidence on this coming off this last low right here. I do think that this one probably does trade up towards about no, not $1, 10 cents to 11.5 cents, something like that. It is a higher low on the macro scale, to be fair. God damn, man, that one got smacked in the face too. And you got a very easy bias here as well. As long as you're above this last little breakout and breakdown point at about 73.5 cent, or sorry, 7.35 cent, I look at this as more or less fine and probably try some upside. But again, gonna depend on what Bitcoin does. Dread Mining says, hi guys, fourth USD. Okay, fourth USD on the 4 hour. Okay, fourth, huh? Let's see, this one. Okay, here we go. This one on Binance. The old Binance, huh? Okay, well, you don't want a daily, you want a 4 hour. 4 hour, interesting. We do have a golden cross on the 4 hour. I do think it could very easily trade down short term to like 18.5, maybe even all the way down to like 18 even, but I would give it another chance to put in a higher low right there. Daily's kind of not so obvious, but I do like the trend right now. I mean, obviously 4 hour isn't an uptrend. You see 4 hour Jewel's giving a little bit of a downside displeasure right there, but I do think that only amounts to like a short-term move. Let's see what the hourly says in this case. Yeah, not too obvious here either. I do think it comes down a little bit, somewhere around 18.25. So just kind of cut it in the middle. From there, next big area is obviously just your last little consolidation high right here at about 21 and some odd change. Above there, I'd be looking for it to reapproach and retest the wick highs of this region coming in from your consolidation about $25 or so. I would generally have a bullish bias on trend continuation here, especially as long as it maintains above this higher low or just basically the 55 or 200. They're basically one and the same right now, so kind of easy on that one. Okay. Hey, what's up, Druv? There he is, sir. Those firebombs aren't going to light themselves. Man, you have, oh my God. I got to tell you, Mr. Lucifer, man, every fucking day last week was busy with something, every fucking day, but I think I finally bought a house actually. So that's good. We might have one more thing to do today. I'm not sure. We have to call up the seller or whatever, but assuming that it doesn't happen, then yeah, we're going to do some firebomb action later today. Going to be some good time to get back on there. Rob says HNT USDT. Okay, we can check out this one. I do have to start to close this off relatively soon. Hey, what's up, Meccan? There he is. We'll look at that. We'll look at that as well before we end this. Okay, what was that one? HNT. That's right. HNT USD. Did we look at this one earlier? It kind of sounds familiar. Looks fine on the 4 hour. Looks like it wants to pop back up to 13.5. Daily looks like a higher low to me. Probably extend those targets to 14.25, and this starts to look like a pretty generally healthy consolidation here. Not bad. Hey, what's up, JJ? There he is. What's up, man? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. We'll get Meccan as well. Sorry if you already looked. Oh, good, man. I picked up SNX USD at 6.9. Okay. Oh, good. Very good buy-in price, sir. Just for the memes of it all. All right, SNX USD. Let's see. Oh, looking nice. Yeah. I do like this one. I don't know where I got this measure move from. It must have been like a lower term time frame. Oh yeah, it was. You are kind of brushing up against short-term resistance right here. I do happen to think it will take that out. 4 hour RSI and 4 hour Jewel kind of telling the story. I do think maybe a short-term sideways, but here's the next thing that I want to see, Meccan. Oh, you bought at 6.9. Oh my God. Okay, you have a great position, man. Look, you don't have... if you're trading the trend, which it sounds like you are because you're holding this one right now, I don't really think that you have too much to worry about as long as this thing's above about 1080 or so. Below there, a little bit of problems, of course, but for right now, I'd look for the next sort of confirmation of extension of this move with any sort of a closure above today, like 1280. This one probably pops back up to the prior range breakdown, which is like 16.75, $17. Does this one continue onwards and forwards from there? Maybe yes. I don't have strong opinions on that. Weekly is kind of weak. All things considered, but you have a great fucking buy-in, so a very easy position to manage, and it looks like you're trading the trend. So I'd basically be having to stop like right below $11 and kind of let this one do what it's going to do. Daily RSI says we still got room to run, and weekly is not going to populate anything because this one's way too new. But yeah, generally good there. Generally good. Oh, Mr. DeCamps, I see you, but one before you, sir. Let's see. Zeostorm says, how often are you checking TradingView in a day? I have it up on my screen all day, all the time. And when I'm not at my screen, I have it on my fucking phone. It's very sad, actually. Are you glued to the screen, or do you have a healthy balance of checking it once in a while? No, I pretty much always have it up, but I will typically be doing other things too, right? So like if I go to the gym, I'll have it on my phone and I'll check in from time to time just to see what's going on. When I'm at home, I mean, this is what I do. So it's like, if I'm not like, I always have a chart up. I might be focused on Discord. I might be focused on Twitter. I might be focused on writing something. I might be focused on making a video, but I always have a chart up and always kind of be looking at it. So to be honest with you, man, I don't believe in balance in life. I don't think that like Michael Jordan was balanced. And I'm not saying that I'm fucking Michael Jordan, but if you want to like do something special like Michael Jordan, you probably ain't too much of a balanced person. So when it comes to trading, you are kind of in a competition with other people. You're more or less in a competition with yourself. Either which way, you're in a fucking competition. And you know, I do think that having more eyes on the chart is probably better, just to notice things that they happen in real time. Now that's not to be confused with like you're in a fucking position and you're sweating balls because you made a mistake and you don't have a fucking plan of what to do and you're checking the charts every fucking second. Obviously that's not going to help you. What's going to help you is like having a goddamn plan. But that's a different topic, and I'm not sure that that's what you necessarily meant. JJ says, all good, brother. Hell yeah, man. There we go. Surviving the old COVIDs over there. Kendrick to Camps, there he is. The McKins are here with you once more, Krown. There we are. On the break, I took Bear and Bull. Jesus introduced me to someone. She's beautiful. It's a blue sky breakout. Holy shit, you found a nice love in your life. Nice one, man. We're going to have a cave baby. I like it. We got to, Kendrick to Camps is going to be bringing us a cave baby, and we can ordain him within the ministry of the caves. Love it, man. Fucking nice, man. There you go. You know what, Kendrick? You probably had the best risk reward on anything right now because you basically missed nothing. You missed absolutely fucking nothing. And it sounds like you have a nice little relationship going on now too. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. Shorty Shrew says link on the 4-hour daily. Okay, let's see. Link USD. Let's see. Yeah, another laggard here. Very unfortunate to see for Link because it was so strong for the prior years, but not in this one. Okay, so here's the obvious trade. Either daily closure above $20 or a wick higher than what we saw on the 7th of July, above about 21 and some odd change. And I'd be looking for this one to have a straight shot up towards about 23 and 35, anywhere around the 55 right there. Big area right here at about 25.5, so I wouldn't necessarily hold my breath for this one just yet. It's going to, again, do whatever Bitcoin does. Probably not follow as much to the upside on the up moves and probably break more to the downside on the downside moves, unfortunately. 16.5 is your big area to the downside. Below there, it's big problems back down to 13.5 next balance probably, and probably finds its way down to like $10-11 overall before maybe trying for another base. But for right now, easier to watch Bitcoin. Above this area right here, you can probably extend targets a little bit, and then above the 200 in this case is going to be the big one for me. That's above about 25.5 or so, and then you could look for this one to return back up to your May, early June highs or so, about in the low 30s or so. If you're looking at the 4-hour. 4-hour looks like it wants to test some upside. It's kind of playing with Bitcoin right now too, but again, not as strong. 4-hour probably back up to like 19 and 35 cents or so. Hey, what's up, Ms. Tokyo Channel? There, how are you? Man, I'm doing well, but goddamn, I'm starting to get tired now. Goddamn. The cave family's getting bigger. That's exactly right, man. Let's see. How are you? Could you look at Signa USD daily weekly? Okay, Signa USD. All right. This Sigma Bulls. There we go. Signa. Signum. Hey, this is... Holy shit. This is what I used to sign my fucking house deed of sale. Is this the same thing? Oh, that's cool. If it is, that's super cool. I didn't know it was like a cryptocurrency technology. That's actually really cool. Thank you and have a great day. You have a great day as well, sir. All right, daily, weekly. 4-hour looks good. Daily looks good as well. Actually, a very good cryptocurrency chart. This is what, well, at least for this portion right here. Long term, not a humongous fan, but this right here is definitely infinitely better than most cryptocurrency charts we've seen, especially today. Next big breakout area, I'd say a daily closure above, what is this? Basically 1.95 cent, and I'd be looking for this one to retest all these wick highs right here. Just above 2 cents or so. I like the rising bottoms right here. That's always a good sign. Something like that. It's kind of wedging itself into an ascending triangle. No reason to be bearish on this one as far as the daily goes, as long as you're above about 1.63. 0.0163, or yeah, 0.163. Okay, and weekly you said? Weekly looks like general continuation, probably does test back up north of 2 cents, probably even this week, honestly. It looks good. What about the monthly? Monthly is kind of sloppy, but I do kind of favor the upside here. Monthly RSI telling the story on this one, generally healthy. Weekly, same thing. I do like that it's maintaining the bullish controls, and I'd give this one more upside than downside. Above here, above all these wick highs, I'd be extending moves back up towards the prior highs on this run, and then you got to look at your historical levels going back from like 4 cents or so. Are going to be the next big ones, so this one can run. It's actually pretty good. Weekly Jewel is trendless right now after playing out the downside signal, so I look at this as a maturing consolidation, which the daily should reflect that, and it definitely does. Very nice. Very fucking nice, sir. What's up, Mr. Fi? I see you there, man. I see you. But I think my voice is running out of juice today. Jesus Christ, man, my voice is like actually starting to hurt. All right, let's get back to Bitcoin really quickly here. Let's make this nice and simple. We'll just look at the daily for now. And what do you know? Let's put on the volume profile. Let's put on the 21. Look, if Bitcoin can close, especially a daily above the volume profile opponent control, that'd be $36,000, which a little bit further away. That'd look pretty damn good for another shot up to $40,000 with stop along the way, probably at 38. Short term, if Bitcoin could close the daily above the 21, which is actually where we're at right now at 34,400 or so, I would extend short-term targets basically to $36,000, maybe a short-term stop along the way at $35,000. And that looks more or less fine to me. I mean, looking at the daily over here on our trending charts, it's actually looking, this is typically reversal and at least test the tops of the Krown bands, and that is just below $36,000 above. Like I said, above there, things look good. Of course, below our last, what would be higher low at $33,000, bad. I would be looking for Bitcoin to retest back down to 31 or 31.5, so $2,000 or almost $2,000 move right there. And then of course, any sort of a closure below 31, then, well, we can start talking about targets down to 27. And probably beyond. So with that said, I'm gonna stop it right there. I want to wish everyone a happy and healthy rest of your day. It's been an absolute pleasure. Fun times, good conversations, and thanks again for joining in. We'll be back on tomorrow. Take care, and hopefully see you soon.
Write it, code it, name it, tweet it, mine it, stack it, live it, dream it, post it, scan it, charge it, send it, do it, and receive it. Trade it, buy it, sell it, store it, run it, list it, first rename it. Crypto logic. Pump it, hack it, lose it, dump it, sell it, ditch it, XR, pitch it, copy, paste it, nudge it, test it, build it, try it, bend it, fork it, hype it, pump it, dump it, rinse, repeat, but quick relocate, pause it, list it, send it, burn it, pump it, hack it, quick rename